Welcome back. We're here with another episode of Earl Loomis. Hello, everybody. Last we left off, if I remember correctly, which feel free to correct me at Gwen, you guys went on your first excursion with the school, your first actual mission. It took you to the city of Brooklyn, which is not very far away. You guys, just walked there in a matter of a couple of hours. Some strange noises and lights had been being seen from across the lake, so you guys went to investigate. There was a lighthouse that has been abandoned for quite some time because apparently this place called the Dead Forest across the lake was ravaged by a dragon like a decade ago. Upon investigating it, you guys thought you saw like a little creature running away, scampering away. So after finding a couple of books about magic in the lighthouse, you guys followed it back out into the woods, trying to chase down this roaring sound that you guys have heard before, in which you saw a massive black dragon. It took you guys no time at all to discover that it was in fact an illusion and not an actual dragon. And as of right now, the creature that you guys were following was actually a very small black dragon. It's about the size of a cat. I'll have to see if I can't make a little picture reference on it up here. But we left off with that thing attached to Gwen's arm because you guys were chasing it. You found it. It was invisible. It bit onto you and it dropped its invisibility. And then we have Rosaries and Leo, I believe, who are like going to investigate the illusory dragon. And you guys had just found out that it was in fact an illusion. So, yeah, you guys tell me. As of right now, we're not technically in combat. This thing is like attached to Gwen's arm, but you have a tiny dragon basically fighting you, but it's very, very small, relatively harmless. I don't know. What are we doing? What's the plan here?
One wants to talk to
Cool,
it.
that's the word.
Dragonborn, or Draconic.
In Dragonborn. Sure.
In Dragonborn. To Frodo.
So this thing
is also going to cast tongues to talk to it with Gwen.
Oh, you have tongues? Damn, I need to
I
read y'all
do.
spells. Holy shit. Yeah, as of right now, for those of you who speak Draconic, here is what you hear. This thing is clamped down to Gwen's arm, and you just hear it like very, very softly. It almost sounds like a growl, but it's too weak to be considered an actual growl. Like it's bit down, and you hear a couple of like small hissing sounds coming from it, but no actual words.
Okay. Can you relax, please?
It just
We're not gonna hurt you.
just keeps smacking you on the arm as it's biting down. It's not even like hurting you, but it's like attached to your arm, smacking and smacking and smacking.
Does it have like the semblance of a scruff I can just grab?
I mean, it is scaly, but if you just want to like grab
don't
it by
know.
the head and pick it up, you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Cool. You grab it by like one of its horns off of your arm, and then you pick it up and hold it up in front of you, and it's just like trying to snap at your hand. It's like waving its little legs and arms, flicking its tail against your arm, not doing any damage.
I don't think it likes that. Does anybody
It's
have
fine.
a
My parents
spell
did it to
for
me.
Do you want me to help? I kind of have some. Maybe it acts like an animal. I could try help.
Right, do we have a calming
Gwen's gonna turn back to the dragon. If I give you food, will you calm down?
It pauses mid-bite with its mouth open, just looks at you, looks down at your bag, and then just slowly shuts its mouth and stares at you.
Like,
All right.
let's.
And you're not gonna run away, right? Like I'm just gonna give it to you.
Or fly away.
Stay put.
Make sure you say fly
We can have a little chat.
Do you see it shrugs its shoulders? Very blank expression on its
Okay.
face.
Gwen sets down the dragon and gets like a couple of her rations out of her bag and opens them and sets them down.
As you set it down, it like smacks your hand and then like scratches at the back of its head and then sits there kind of like on edge watching everybody as you grab some rations out.
Okay.
Also, Rosaries and Leo, you guys are up close to this illusory dragon that you guys learned about. It is essentially all but stopped doing anything other than like a very repetitive, like looking to the left, looking to the right, and then just standing there kind of menacingly. And then like a minute later, it'll do the same thing again. But yeah, Gwen, how do you attempt to
Oh.
interact with this dragon?
You can you speak at all? Is that
Shakes its
something
head
you can do? No. All right. Do you know where the two fishermen that came to this area are?
You see it kind of like furrow its eyebrows and cock its head at you and look.
They were like two. What were they? She like switches back to common. Guys, were they like human? Whatever. I forgot. The fishermen?
Can I cast detect thoughts instead? I want to see if it's just having trouble communicating and maybe its thoughts are more clear.
Yeah, if you want to drop concentration on tongues and then cast detect thoughts, go right ahead.
Betrayal. It's like, calamity.
Calamity.
Exactly.
I will transcribe the words it says in whatever language, obviously Draconic, I'm guessing, onto the scribe tablet in front of me, and I will just have it in front of, like, floating in front of Gwen.
Sure. So Gwen, you ask about these fishermen and you see it like cock its head to the side. Lucian, you cast detect thoughts and you hear in common this little dragon creature is not speaking, but it's thinking like fisherman? Is that like a half fish, half man?
So I can see that come up in front of me.
Yeah, Lucian writes it down.
Yeah, I'm just writing it down. Yep.
Okay.
Lucian, I think he thinks it might be a mermaid. The fishermen were mermaids? Or mermen?
Okay.
Rosario,
So
mermen are among us. What do we do? I never fought them before.
Am I not like 100 feet the other
I
direction?
know you are 100 feet. Marcel's yelling.
Marcel yells through the forest, "There are mermen here!" And it kind of like echoes through the mountain.
Just gonna shake my head and continue doing whatever I'm doing. We can go back to.
Okay. Rosario's answered. He says, guys, keep your eyes open and your back eyes open as well.
okay, cool. So okay,
You're
maybe not fishermen, but like two humanoids like us that came over here.
Like us, Gwen.
Yeah, he kind of like scans all of you guys up and down a little bit, and then he sits there thinking for a second, and he like leans back on his hind leg and taps a finger to his face. And Lucian, you hear him thinking like, two people. I saw weird footsteps, but not any actual people. I don't think we want to follow them. And at that point, he like turns his head up to your like writing utensil in your book, and he's like, "What the hell?" And then he reaches up and like motions for you to hand him the book.
The dragon wants the book?
Yeah, he's like reaching up with his hands, almost like a baby, like reaching up on his hind legs.
Oh, to my parchment?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll lower it down to him.
You lower it down. He takes the little pen that you have. He sets it on the ground in a nice flat space. And you see him drawing for a couple of seconds, and then he holds up the piece of paper, and it's got a very hastily drawn like mountain on there. And then it has a couple of stick figures, and above a couple of them, it has the word ugly, hairy men pointed down at them. And then on the other side, it has two stick figures that say maybe people, and it points towards the mountain. And then he holds it up and then points up towards the mountain that you guys had been going around.
Is that normal for dragons to be able to draw and write?
He shakes his
I
head
don't know.
yes at you.
Does this mountain mean anything? I mean, I know that we can see it or whatever, but from a Tarkographer standpoint, does this mean anything to me?
I'll let you make me a history check about it. And while you roll that, I'll say this little dragon looks up at you guys, sets the drawing off to the side, takes another piece of parchment, and then writes on it and holds up. And in like very poor handwriting, but in common, it reads, "I'm a dragon and I can do that."
15.
15.
Fair point.
I mean, it's one of the only like nearby individual mountains in this region, but it doesn't hold any specific history other than you could connect like, oh, there's a mountain here, there's a story of a dragon coming in. Like some pieces are starting to connect a little bit there, but
And there's no clear path that's ever been explored in the past to it. Somebody would-
there are some like paths up the mountain, yes, because there used to be like villages around this area. So you could definitely find your way up the mountain if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah, the dragon sort of like points at himself, points at the writing that he made, and he's just like, "Yeah, I can. Duh."
Do you have a name at all?
See?
He
Can we name you?
he thinks for a second and he writes down on the paper and it says, "Big scary monster black dragon." And then
Okay.
he
Cool.
points his thumb at himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Big,
Yes,
scary monster
indeed.
black dragon.
That's pretty long. Can we just call you Big?
It's not long when your roommate is Delphina.
Yeah.
Wait,
But you still call her Delphina instead of.
big,
She lets me.
big scary monster dragon?
BSMD.
Well, yeah.
He shakes his head no, and then he writes down below it and he's like, "I don't have an
Isma.
actual name."
So what's with the big dragon over there?
You see it like audibly taking a deep breath and like sigh a little bit, and then it starts writing on a piece of parchment like this small little essay. And after a couple of seconds, it just hands it to you, and you can read it. And it says, "Ugly hairy men on the mountain trying to mess with the dragon skeleton. I'm protecting it."
There's a dragon skeleton nearby.
He nods at you. He points
It
back
looked
to
like
where
hairy
the
man.
illusory
Oh
dragon
no,
is.
they found Rosarius.
Is that your mother?
Shrugs his shoulders.
You don't know where you came from?
Did you
Shrugs again.
hatch and it was just like there?
Right?
Okay. So no parents that you're aware of?
Shrugs. Holds its arms up and just kind of, I don't know.
You mind
Okay.
if we take a look at this area without disturbing it too much? Maybe give you some answers?
He takes up your parchments, sort of like stacks them and organizes them, folds them just a little bit and hands them back to you with the pen. Gets down on all fours and then sort of like scurries away off towards Rosarius and Leo. And then like halfway there stops and looks back at you guys and motions for you to follow.
Follow. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. You guys come back over. You see Rosarius and Leo. Honestly, at this point, you guys are just like, there's a fake dragon here. There's not really much for us to do. It's not doing anything. You guys watch as a tiny little black dragon leads the rest of your party, and you guys all conjoin together. And then the tiny little black dragon stands up on its hind legs and like holds its arms in the air, closes its eyes, moves its hands in a pattern that Lucian, you would definitely recognize as like the somatic components to a spell. And the black dragon that's there just dissipates. And the tiny one wanders over to like where it was, and there's like a little hill, and then it brushes off some of the leaves and dirt that seem to be stacked on it, and you guys see what looks to be a massive bone underneath the ground. And just points at it. Looks to you guys, points at you, points at it, points at itself, points at the bones.
Alright, I'm going to, if anybody else is good with animals or beasts or anything, if you want to help me out, I'll start, I don't know, sketching it. Maybe take a small sample if I can, trying to figure out what I can about it.
I'll say if you want to start sketching it, you can, but the a good like 60% of it's under dirt. But I will say, as soon as you go forwards to the bones and like reach out to touch it, the dragon like jumps and slaps at your hand and like bites at your hand and sits there defensively.
Yeah.
The dragon did said ugly hairy men are trying to mess with it, so maybe don't touch it.
It points at Gwen and
Oh.
nods its head once.
All right, I don't want to take any of it. I just want to give you the answers you're looking for.
Marcel turns to Leo. Leo, I think the dragon's telling Lucian that he has ugly hair. That looks back to her.
Lucian, the dragon just sort of like squints its eyes at you, and it crosses its arms as it's sort of like standing on its hind legs, and it just shakes its head once.
And there's no obvious like wounds or anything from the parts that are showing, like bite marks on bones or anything like that.
There are like a couple of occasional scratches on the pieces that you see. Now that the illusion's gone and like that piece of land is gone, you guys can see again like roughly 40% of a dragon skeleton like above the dirt, almost like it's been buried just by time or by the efforts of this little dragon. And there are like occasional chips and scratches and weathering on it. Some of them look like not natural, if that makes sense. So it, defends it from you, and then it like stands on it and like is very, very careful with it. It's not putting a lot of weight on it. It's very cautious.
You want us to help you finish burying it, or put it in a place that's better, or maybe we can make a small monument?
It nods its head multiple times at you. Gives you a thumbs up.
Okay, let me clarify. Do you want us to move it somewhere else?
It thinks for a second, starts to nod, and then shrugs and kind of raises its hands again.
Where would you want it?
Shrug.
Are we sure this is what he wants?
I don't
Does
think
anyone
we
have
have
Sure, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
We're asking a baby
If
what it's
there
wants.
anything-
It's kind of a.
It looks at Marcel and like puts its hands on its hips and stands up and just looks down at itself, looks at you.
I know, right?
It reaches up at Lucian for the paper again.
I give him the paper.
You give it to him. He takes it fervorously on the ground, writes it, and it just says, "You're the baby."
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
What he's got some words in him. I like that.
would I have read anything about what kind of damage dragon bones can do to the land and things like that?
I'm gonna
fine,
say
example.
read about, not specifically, but if you want to just give me an Arcana check right now, we have some other casters in the group, but I think the Druid would be most fitting. So Athera, I'll let you give advantage if you help with it, but you can sort of assess the situation.
From reading the like lore before we came here, would I have some understanding that like the change in the forest happened around the time that the dragon was killed?
Yeah.
allegedly?
So I'll add that in with the Arcana check for sure.
Okay.
So yeah, Lucian, if you want to give me an Arcana check with advantage, let me know what you get.
14.
14. With Athera's help, you guys sort of like talk for a second, a little bit away from the dragon after you're done like asking it questions. You take a survey of the area, the dragon bones, get a rough estimate of like how wide the effect is, and your best guess is that if the theories are true, which they seem to be, and there is a dragon skeleton here, that the like latent magic properties of a dragon affected the area that you guys are in, which is why nothing's growing. It's why all of the soil and the trees seem to be like grayed and desaturated. It seems like the best explanation is that this skeleton is what's causing the nearby area to be essentially barren.
And then I want to just, as this is going on, I'm going to ritually cast Detect Magic too, and see if it's emanating anything currently, or if it's finally died or something.
Yeah.
With the magic from it.
I'll say you start ritually casting that, because that's going to take like a couple minutes for you and Athera to talk that through and do that while you guys are talking. The rest of you, the other four, this dragon is still sitting there, and you guys know that it just said like it could potentially want to move it. What are you guys continuing with the conversation?
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes. No, I don't have eyes in the back of my head.
Why would I ask you that? Because I already know the answer.
You see the dragon like lean
Oh.
over and look behind Rosari's, and
Marcel's actually, Marcel's thinking for a second before he makes, like, if this dragon bone's like really big, why would it get in that small little boat?
What?
Yeah, this
Wait.
dragon bone's like really big. Like, how are we gonna bring it to bring it on the boat?
I mean, we could.
We can
Honestly,
cut it. It might make it
I
look
say that's a good
guy
question.
angry.
Who says we have to be the ones to bring it back?
We could
We go-
contact some professors from Loomis.
If Professor Barron can do all that he can do and he can't move a dragon skeleton, I'm just gonna make Lucien the next wizard professor.
That's some crazy talk right there.
as you guys are
I
talking,
wouldn't be saying that out loud.
the dragon's sitting there like sketching on a piece of paper and drawing.
Can I take a gander at it?
Yeah, you see a poorly drawn Marcel. You can tell because it has the like sword above the head. It's got like the short hair spiking up everywhere. It's him in a diaper.
Ah, that's amazing. That's
I
really
remember
cool.
Rush Week. It was a fun time. Thanks for bringing back good old memories. Pass it back.
Yeah, it looks like you
You-
and Potty.
You pat its back and it like snaps at your hand and almost bites you.
Oh no, Marcel Week bites him like.
No, yeah. He if it bites you, it's like very, very soft. It's all bark, no bite, but without the bark.
Can Lune come up and nibble on the dragon's tail? Because they kind of look similar.
Sure, yeah. I'll say while you're ritually casting, you sort of like motion to Lune, and Lune sort of wanders up outside of the dragon's peripheral vision, nibbles at its tail a little bit, and you guys watch almost like two cats playing for the first time, where it like jumps and scatters the paper and like starts to hiss, but it's like a very, very faint, weak sound. It's like you guys can tell this thing can't really produce sounds very well. And then Lune like playfully moves and rolls over, and then the dragon and Lune end up like playing and knocking around like leaves and rocks at each other, just running around the dragon skeleton.
If the papers get scattered, I want to pick up the Marcel drawing and put it in my bag.
For sure. Lucien, you finish casting Detect Magic. You don't pick up on any specific spell, other than like the hints that a massive illusion spell was just cast here with this dragon that was here. But you do get like that very faint, lingering magical effect, confirming your suspicion that it seems to be centered on the dragon skeleton, that the land is affected by it, and there's almost a little bit of, I guess, transmutation would be the best class for it. It's literally just like dragons are, from your understanding, very, very magical creatures just by nature. The fact that they even exist at all is like a doubt to most people. But
Alright.
with the evidence of one, you are seeing now that even in death, a dragon's body from where it dies like drastically affects the land.
I'm gonna go over to Gwen, and I'm gonna say, perhaps you should talk to it, see if it will come back to Earl Loomis with us, and we can either A, promise to go deal with the mountain men, if that's what it is hinting at, or we can promise to, come back and deal with the remains of its whatever.
Well, while I do agree, we should first figure out the missing fisherman situation, because that's our like top priority.
I don't know, finding a dragon seems way more important than dealing with two missing fishermen.
No, I actually agree with Gwen. I think we should look for the fisherman.
Are you guys talking
I
loud
wonder-
enough for the animals to hear?
Oh yeah, definitely. Marcel treats them like he treats them one of us. We're a group now.
Cool.
Absolutely, I'm Team
And-
Dragon right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say when you guys start talking about this and you mention like the mountain men and stuff, outside of your vision, you can see that the dragon like stops for a second, and Lune also stops. They start heading towards you. Lune like flies up and lands on Lucien's shoulder, and then the dragon crawls up on Gwen's shoulder, as you guys mentioned, like dealing with the mountain men, and the dragon like nods and points at the mountain and then just gives you a thumbs up.
I think that's an okay from the dragon.
Perhaps it's all related.
Could
Right?
be.
And besides, I don't think the skeleton's going anywhere.
The dragon points at Gwen and points at itself when you say related, and kind of like furrows his eyebrows.
Okay.
So the fishermen and the mountain men are all together.
Might be.
He already said he didn't see the fisherman, so it could just be coincidence. Maybe we'll find him there.
Honestly,
did
he
see,
doesn't
like,
even know what
those-
fishermen are.
We did see those like goblin / like maybe hobgoblin footprints earlier. Well, I did. I don't know about you guys, but I saw those footprints. So maybe that's where the fisherman went.
Is he gonna come with us?
He shakes his head very, very firmly and points down at the skeleton again.
I think he's on guard duty for the skeleton.
It nods.
I'm okay with that. Just, do the big dragon scary thing.
He's been pretty okay so far by himself, so I think he'll be fine while we finish up the mission.
All right, I'm going to leave Lune behind for the first time ever. And I'm going to just say, well, I'll leave Lune here, and he'll help you. And we can come back, and you know our scent, right? Is that how that works?
It sniffs a little bit, nods, and it points at Marcel and wafts in front of its nose.
Very hard to forget that.
I know. I know I'm running out of my good cologne. I had to buy the cheap stuff here. I mean, regular stuff.
He thinks he doesn't need to shower because he just needs cologne.
The dragon, like,
Honestly, it's working. For him.
pretends that it's throwing up. The two Lune and this little dragon sort of like scamper down back over to the the remains of this dragon, and you see the dragon hold up a fist to like fist bump. How does Lune respond to that? I'll let you decide, Lucian.
Definitely a fist bump, but with
Yeah.
the tail.
She swats it, and he just looks at his hand and says, yeah, all right. And then they sit there. Dragon stands up, hands on its hips.
It was the equivalent of doing like a high five, but then it's like trying to go fist pump. So like, it's like really awkward.
Bingo.
Situation. And you don't handshake.
Before you guys leave, though, the dragon like points to Gwen and like motions for you to come over to it.
Okay, I'd do that. I could go to the dragon.
I'm motion for Leo to follow me.
All right. Leo follows.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. I just want to, I don't want to feel left out.
Understand.
Just pretend that we're saying something really important.
Okay.
And that's what I
Important
said about
thing.
Rosarius.
You guys are over there whispering. Gwen, you walk over to the dragon, and then as you come over, it sits down very, like almost solemnly, stares up at you, and then it just opens its mouth and points in.
I take a look.
You made a promise to feed it?
It shakes its head and then like tells you to back up, and it just points in its mouth again. And it motions its hands towards you.
You want food again, maybe? Water?
It nods at food and water, I guess.
Okay, I just didn't know if you had like maybe strep throat and you wanted me to check. I don't know. Can't talk. Gwen takes out 2 more rations and she lets it drink a little bit of her water.
It takes a couple of small drinks, then it takes the food down and it like tears off some of the wrappings on one, and it starts eating it with its hands, and then looks over at Lune and like slides a piece over, and then continues eating all of it, and it just gives you a thumbs up.
All right, you good now?
Big thumbs up. Mouthful of food.
Okay. All right. I might ask you some questions when we're back, by the way. So be prepared with your little dragon brain.
It squints at you and then continues eating slowly. And then it like
Alright.
motions for you to leave.
If you need help, send Lune back to me. She'll find us.
It gives you a thumbs up without even looking, as it's just stuffing its face.
All right, I go back to
I
the.
think Gwen took a picture. I mean, oh hey Gwen, how's everything?
I took a what? Wait, I took a what?
Oh no, there's nothing important.
Wait, are you talking about the drawing I took?
What drawing?
This one. And Gwen's like takes out the drawing of Marcel in his diaper.
No, Marcel grabs it. No, thank you. Interesting.
No, that wasn't for you.
Puts it in her pocket.
That wasn't for you. That was for my wall in my dorm room. It's a piece of art.
I'll make my own.
All right,
you
have
keep
fun
one.
with that, Marcel.
Marcel's actually thinking about what he should draw. It's
Okay, all right.
All right, I will
Let's
say,
get going, guys.
between having a ranger and a Lucian, you're proficient with cartographer's tools. You probably studied some maps of the area beforehand. You guys could easily find a path up the mountain. I'm not going to make you guys roll for that. You guys just let me know when you're going and what sort of, I guess, prep you're doing on the way.
I don't think Gwen's really gonna do any prep. Just try to find the mountain and go in there.
Cool.
Maybe
Like
keep an
to-
eyeball out for footprints.
I'm just gonna use my arcane recovery. I don't really have much of anything else I can use.
Cool. All right. Yeah, Gwen, if you want to look out for footprints, I'll say go ahead and give me a survival check on the way up, and I will even give you advantage on this.
Okay. I forgot to get my dice out, so D&D Beyond it is. That's pretty good. All right. Again. All right. Wait. My first one was a 19 plus. Okay, that's 22.
22.
That's 22.
Hey,
It didn't bring up my history and I got confused.
All right. Yeah, on a 22. So Gwen, you start sort of like leading the way up this mountain. There are some very obvious like paths that go through here, and there is one that you guys are following that goes up the mountain a little bit. It zigs and it zags, but you guys begin traveling, and it takes you guys probably about 30 or 45 minutes to really get where you're going. On the way, Gwen, you look out for tracks, just keeping an eye on like the dirt and the soil. You do find multiple sets of tracks the further up this mountain that you get. The more dense they get, the more common they are. On a 22, I will let you know that you identify them as they would probably match like the goblins that you guys fought earlier.
Okay.
And it definitely seems like they were coming either to or from somewhere on this mountain. Within those, you do see a set of prints that do not match the others, and they're a lot more, I guess, inconsistent. Like sometimes they're walking, sometimes they're being moved and dragged, sometimes they seem to like quickly turn directions, and then there's slide marks back up the mountain of what looked to be just like some boots that a regular human would wear.
All right. It's a good sign.
So yeah, you guys follow this path, and I'll let you know that about 45 minutes into traveling, you guys notice a cave coming up on this like mountain path that this leads to. So before you guys are actually there at the cave, I'll let you do anything you want.
Marcel will be right behind Rosarius because hey, how you doing, Rosarius?
I'm fine.
Wait, you want
How
me
are
to be
you?
in front or be behind you?
I have a shield, if that helps.
Do we have any?
I have darkness. That helps. That only actually helps me.
It doesn't help me, actually, yeah.
And I'll be.
Maybe you could go over there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. So
Before they go into the cave, Gwen's gonna move from like the front because of the tracking and maybe go more towards like the middle back.
Sure.
The group.
Yep, and I will also let you guys know that from this cave, just on passive perceptions alone, you guys hear noises coming from it. The sounds of like metal clanking, things being scoot along the ground, like those rough goblin language sounds that you guys picked up on from the fight before. So it sounds very, very similar, except this time there seem to be more of those like larger, deeper voices.
So how do you guys want to handle this?
Cautiously.
We could try sneaking in. Don't know how well that would go for Rosari, so.
And Leo is
Yeah.
Just drag me in this.
Hey, unless you want me to carry you again.
Yes, please.
I was
Kidding, I'm
joking.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah, is the cave dark?
No, I mean, you guys are out and about, and it's not super late in the day. It's probably like noon or 1 o'clock at this point. So there is like that soft ambient lighting everywhere, even though it's cloudy. So you can see in the cave from a short distance away, and you see like the occasional movement or something as you're just barely able to see inside of it. But before you guys get in full vision of it, obviously I'm letting you prep.
All right. I guess me and Bizarri's front, but do you want to try to go stealthy in first? Just try it out, see what happens.
Are you asking me this?
We're a group effort.
Okay.
I mean, it might be helpful to figure out what's going on in there.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That
mean,
looks at
when
the
you
two
saw-
flankers.
Gwen, you saw tracks of the humans going this way, right?
Yeah, they were like boot prints, which I feel like goblins aren't really like me and maybe wear boots like that as much. I mean, they were big boots. They'd probably just fall right off their feet.
So it's possible that, I mean, unless they decided to go in there willingly, there's captives in there.
Yeah, it looked like a struggle.
Should keep that in mind too, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to go in. I don't want to go in there too heavy because they might use the captives as a, as a hostage, and I don't want to escalate any further.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Pull Leo to the side.
Definitely.
Sure.
Leo, you don't maybe know about this spell. And I'm going to pull out a small bag that has like little bones in it, and I'm gonna lay them out in front of me, and I'm gonna cast augury. And as I'm doing it, I want to ask, essentially the bones, if going into the cave is basically good, or if it's going to be bad.
I will for sure let you cast that, but I do want to ask you just a little clarification on what good or bad means to you. So when you say good, does that mean like it's safe, or does that mean you're doing the right thing, or like give me an idea?
In a sense of danger. Are we going to get attacked? Whoa. Are we going to be possibly attacked? I guess wheel and woe would be mixed.
Okay, so it's just a matter of like danger,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. You cast augury. Is there any roll needed with that, or is it just results?
It says there's a 25% chance for it to be random.
I will roll a d4, and on a 1, it will be random.
It says the DM makes it in secret if you want.
Yeah, I'm not telling you what I rolled, but I will say that you get woe, which I believe is the bad one.
Right. You see this, Leo?
I see. Sorry, I was muted.
Did you see this, Leo? Oh yes,
You
bones.
didn't mean. No.
Honestly, Lucian, I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
It's divination.
Oh,
You don't know this one, huh?
I don't. Mine is mostly holy. When it comes to spells.
Fair enough.
I'm
Well,
not
this
versed in
means that-
divination.
To put it politely, we're gonna get fucked.
Beautiful. That's exactly what I wanted.
And I'm gonna let everybody know. I know it seems weird here, but the bones are telling me that this is bad, so we should be prepared for the worst case scenario.
You've got bones.
Yeah, look, they're little, I think, maybe dragon bones? I don't know.
Prepare for the worst case scenario. Marcel's just ducked and covered.
It very likely means that we could get attacked as soon as we walk into the cave, and that they're not going to be receptive to any type of diplomacy.
Oh, I thought you meant like everyone's gonna explode or something. So I was trying to duck and cover from that.
We
Worst
didn't
case
eat any tacos tonight, so we're good.
Oh, okay.
When you're done talking about tacos, I might have an idea.
What's your idea, Tira?
I'm a little bit too tired for it now, but if you let me recover some of my energy, I could wild shape into a rat again. Go in there, see what we're dealing with. Maybe even position myself somewhere more strategic to release the prisoners so they can help us.
Maybe at the very least you could just like go in, take a look around, come out, and tell us what you see.
I can also make you invisible for 2 hours.
Well, I wouldn't, if I'm gonna become a rat, I wouldn't waste an invisibility on me as well, but maybe somebody else.
These people might eat rats. It'd be real awkward if you got picked up and put into a pot.
Well, I would change back. I would not let them eat me.
But then you'd be alone. Just trying to help you out if you're going.
Oh, they'll still try to eat
I
you.
mean, maybe I could come in with her if you have invisibility.
If you want to risk it, 2 is better
I
than
mean,
1.
I can be pretty stealthy sometimes, so just a thought.
We could do that, and then one of us could come back to fill the rest in, and the other.
I can
Could
make
wait.
you both invisible, by the way.
You can what?
Yeah, I can make you both invisible. I can even bring a third person if we want, if you'd rather do rat and 2 people.
That's up to the rest of you guys.
Marcel like raises his hand.
I don't think you're very quiet, Marcel.
Well, I
What's
mean,
the
if we're
Leo
gonna-
Rosarius?
You're right, we don't really have anybody else.
If we're gonna use invisibility, then I would rather save my energy for something maybe a little more aggressive.
That makes sense.
Like a corgi?
A what?
Corgi.
Oh, it's
like a
not.
type of dog breed.
A dog. You mean a wolf?
There are dogs.
Theria, are you actually good?
Do you not know about dogs, Materia?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they're just, yep. Dogs.
Marcel's like confused. Like,
Are we doing invisibility or not?
Well, outside of your form, are you actually good at being sneaky? Because I don't know, I've never seen you sneak around. Because I'm not bad myself, so if you're not going the rat approach, I could go with Gwen.
I mean, she looks pretty lightweight. She looks like she could blow over with like a wind, so I think she'd be pretty stealthy.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I mean, I'm not Rosari's, but I'm not that
Yeah,
trained
let's
at
all
being
point
stealth.
fingers and argue. If we don't come up with a decision in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to go in there because there are 2 people who are potentially being killed.
Well, they could have been killed 20 minutes.
Sorry, this is going to take off.
Frankly, Rosari's. Wait.
Marcel
I'm-
follow Rosarius.
I'm going up.
Leo's gonna
I'm
try
gonna
to
have
stop
him.
the Tharius real quick.
What's the point of a plan if we don't follow it? Damn.
You didn't say it was whoa.
Yeah, this is why.
All right, Rosaris is walking forward. Leo, what did you say you were doing?
I'm gonna try to stop him for a moment.
Rosaris, I'm gonna let you decide whether or not you're like letting people stop you and finish the plan, or if you're just going in.
Opposed athletics.
I'll let you choose if Leo's trying that hard.
Just the only way. It's the
If-
only way you're gonna do it.
If you're trying to like actually hold him and stop him, roll an athletics check. If you're just trying to like tell him to stop, he's marching
Yeah,
past.
I'm gonna try to stand in front of him and say, hold on a minute.
Cheapos.
We can't
And then
go
you
in
do
there without a
kiss.
plan, Rosaris. Otherwise, we could possibly die.
And if we don't go in there at all, those two people are for sure going to die. I thought you were a pacifist that cared about life.
I also care about my own life.
Oh, then you're self-conceited, and you care about nothing other than your own ideals and your own.
No,
Rosaris.
that's not it at all.
Okay.
Whoa,
We
what
go
is
in here with
going
a
on?
plan and we
Oh
can
my
figure this
goodness.
out, Rosaris. You know that. There's no need to be brash.
Think about it. If we go in quietly, we're not going to alert them, and then they're going to just be killed before we can even get to them.
All right,
Last thing we need is them to just become a hostage situation.
before we continue anything else, Rosaris is going forward. I'm gonna let you guys make the elective decision. Are you going with him or are you staying back?
If he goes, I'm following him.
Cool.
I mean,
He
if I
goes,
can't
I also
stop him,
go.
I'm gonna go with him.
This is why people die, and I'm going with them.
All right,
Sounds like, can't we just get along? Just follow Rosaris.
Gwen, what did you say?
Yeah, if he goes, I'll go.
Fantastic. All right, so Rosaris is obviously going first in the order that you guys said. I have Athera and Leo right after, and then I have Marcel, Lucian, and Gwen shortly after that. With that being said, Rosaris, you march forward, bold, your armor clink, 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 longsword at your hip. You march up to the entrance to this cave, and as you get up the like incline and start entering into like where the mouth of this cave is, you see that there are multiple of these bugbear that you guys fought, and then you can see directly in front of you there's like almost like this really worn down tent with a bunch of crates and barrels, broken supplies in it. And there are two guys who are sort of tied to the like poles of this tent. It's not it like the tarp doesn't go all the way to the ground. It just covers the top, and it's like over the top of all these supplies. They are tied to like the right side and the left side. There are at least 3 or 4 bugbears immediately that you can see, and all of them are going to notice you. So I'm going to need everybody to go ahead and roll initiative as soon as I move you to this map. All right. Let's do this. I'm going to roll a turn for the bugbears. Holy shit.
Hey, Shorty, because we did the wheel woe thing and we knew that we were going to run into a bad situation, can we have advantage on initiative?
Yeah, I'll give you guys advantage on initiative simply because you knew you were going into a fight.
Oh,
For that reason alone, I'll say
So
it checks out.
better for me. Wow.
for our viewers at home, my first roll, A4. My second roll, A2.
Congrats.
Glad I went in first to watch everyone run past me.
I will say, because you rolled so poorly on initiative, if you want to make like a perception or insight check and survey the area as you go in, that will be the reason that you roll so low.
I think the only thing I would see is like, is there a pool of blood or anything around the two guys?
I won't even make you roll for that. No. You see that they are tied up, but they are not bleeding. They look like injured, but not dying.
Are
Let's-
they like unconscious sort of thing?
One of them is, the other one is not.
Okay, cool.
All right, let's cover initiative. Athera,
15.
Marcel.
15.
Nice. I see that Lucian got an 11. What about Leo
16.
and Gwen?
11.
Cool. All right, the first to act is Leo. Leo, you're following Rosari's in. He walks in, immediately scans the area, prepping to fight, drawing his sword. You walk up behind him, and just as you see the bugbears turn their heads, you spring to action. What do you do?
Oh, shit. Leo. Leo's gonna, under his breath, he's gonna be like, fuck Rosari's. And then he's just gonna move behind Rosari's for now, and that's gonna be his turn.
Cool. Do you want to prep an action or anything, or do you just want to sort of wait?
I'm gonna wait.
Give him a little back rub.
Yeah. No, actually,
tense,
sorry. I'm gonna cast Bless on Rosari's, Athera, and myself right now.
Cool. I'll let you guys put on little, tabs on your tokens to keep track of that. Leo, keep track of your concentration on that. Just remind me if you make any checks. That'll take it straight to Marcel.
Marcel notices that he has a kind of a clear shot on this guy. So he's going to, because he can't really reach for his sword, sadly, with Jock. So he's gonna walk. Oh, he walked over here and noticed that there's another guy there. It's like, oh, that's interesting. And he fires Eldritch Blast on the guy he was looking at the beginning.
All right. Is that bugbear 4 that you're talking about?
Oh wait, they have numbers?
Yeah. If you zoom in, you should be able to see their nameplate.
Oh, okay.
Which, actually, now that I think about it, I need to make their health bars visible. I forgot to do that before this. Go ahead, start doing your rolls and tell me what you get.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna back him with a Eldritch Blast. 14.
14 is not
What a
going to
D4.
hit. And a D4, actually, yeah.
Let's go.
17.
17 will hit. Guided by Leo's little, faint sparkling light surrounding you. You cast Eldritch Blast, and just as it looks like it's about to miss, your Eldritch Blast, jumping through the air, hits right in between some of the, sporadic armor that this bugbear is wearing. For
And it does 9 damage.
9 damage. Hell yeah. The bugbear takes that hit and stumbles back a little bit. Obviously, that was a pretty hefty shot to it. And it is still looking relatively healthy, but 9 damage is nothing to sneeze at.
All right. And it's turn.
Thera.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and run up Hotang to here. And then can I see this guy right here? He's tied up. Is he conscious?
Guy 1 is conscious, guy 2 is not. So he is knocked out at this moment.
Okay. All right, then I am going to cast Flame Blade for my bonus action. And then I'm just going to hold my action. If the bugbear comes up to me, I'll attack him with Flame Blade.
Cool. Hell yeah. That'll bring it to Gwen with Lucian up next.
Does the tent thing in the middle take up the view of the bugbears? If I were to look and shoot at them? Or...
Yeah, that will block line of sight because it's about 8 feet tall and full of just broken wooden stuff.
Okie dokie. I guess I'll move a little bit to my left and then shoot the guy that Marcel is shooting.
Hell yeah.
I'll also put Hunter's Mark on it.
Sick.
What the fuck? I think that was 13. I don't know. I'm confused.
Yeah, I think it was. It popped up for that.
Okay.
in D&D
It like
now.
disappears immediately for me and I can't like look at it anymore.
Aw.
Okay. I take it a 13 probably doesn't hit.
If it is 13 with modifiers, no. No, it does not.
Okay.
So I'll say with Marcel in your line of sight, you try really hard not to shoot him in the back of the head. And you like scooch over, taking a shot as you're moving, and the arrow swings wide and skitters off the ground and hits the wall of the cave.
Okie dokie. That's it. That's my turn.
All right, Lucien with Rosari's up next, our second to last one.
Lucian's gonna rush up to right behind Etheria, and I'm gonna produce this like powdered substance in my hand as I focus on it, and I change the shape of it, and then my fingers go out in a square as I look at the two bugbears over here. Using a knowledge point, I'm gonna hold person on both of these.
Hell yeah, go for it.
Actually,
All right, so-
seeing the one below me, never mind. I'm gonna get this one. It's 10. This one
Cool.
and this one.
Okay, so 3 and 5, that's a wisdom save, right?
It is.
Cool. They have a +0 to this, so I'll roll number 3 first. That's a 7, and number 5 next. That's a 2. Both of them are held in place and paralyzed.
And then I'm gonna say, Rosari's, you're an asshole, but you get advantage on these guys, and I think it hits hard if you hit them. That's it.
With you yelling that to Rosari's, you are up next. You see Lucien walk forward, and these two bugbears walking towards him both pause and freeze in the air, almost like that glitching, stuttering effect when you pause an old TV. Like they're sitting there like that with the air around them, just holding them in place.
Okay. And Leo just is holding his turn, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna grab Leo by like the collar of his chainmail and point to the guy that's unconscious and say, "Job to do, go." And then I'm gonna take off and kind of follow him, and I'll deal with this guy first and attack him.
All right. Go ahead. While you're rolling your attack, you get advantage. If you hit, you crit. Leo, Rosari's grabs you by the collar, tells you what to do. Are you going for that? What are you doing?
Leo's gonna shrug Rosari's off. I mean, he's gonna go for the guy that was playing already. So I guess he's gonna move forward.
Yeah, I don't think you have
right.
enough movement to get to one of the guys quite yet, but if you wanted
No.
to dash, you could, or if you want to do anything else, you just let me know. While you're planning that, Rosari's, what do we got?
23 to hit.
That definitely hits. Roll damage, you automatically crit, so if you're using your longsword, that'll be 1d10 plus a d10 plus your modifier.
It's a D8.
Oh, it is a d8, one-handed, right?
D8. Yeah. So it's. I'll just do it manually. So it's a D8. So it's 8 plus 6, so it's 14.
Mhm.
Plus 4, and then of course I'm gonna
So
add a smite to it.
If you're doing a smite, that damage alone is enough to kill this thing plenty, because those 2d8s maxed out to 16. This thing's dead so fast.
I started here, right?
Yes. I think it was like right here.
10, 15, 20, 25. And then I'll take another step up here.
Yeah. You walk forward very easily with this thing fully still. You take your sword and you slice up through the gap in its armor at its waist, and you cleave this thing in half with your sword shining as you do, and you just keep walking. Leo, what do we got?
Leo's actually gonna move out. He's gonna dash and everything in front of this guy and stand between him and the enemy right there.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just say you can use your bonus action to like protect this guy and make sure he doesn't get hit.
Perfect. That's
Hell
the
yeah.
one.
That'll be the bugbear's turn. That one's dead. That one is paralyzed. This one's going to come up to Athera, who you can take your attack. One's going to attack Leo, one's going to attack Marcel. So Athera, go ahead and roll your attack. I'm going to roll these other two. First one against Leo. Leo, does the 17 hit?
Nope.
Cool. Didn't think it does. You have a shield, right? This guy swings at you and you block it with your shield really easily. Marcel, that'll be a 6.
Marcel just easily dodges it.
Yeah, he charges at you so hastily and swings, and you just like take a step out of the way, and he just walks a step past you as he swings. Athera, what are you doing to attack?
So I'm gonna use this flame blade, and it looks like a scimitar, which, if you remember, was the weapon I was practicing with whenever we would do things. So using in combat for the first time. I rolled a 17.
That will definitely hit. So with the lack of weight from this thing, no longer having that like hefty piece of, junk in your hand, this one's so much easier to swing. You make contact. How much damage are you dealing?
11 points.
Hell yes. I'll let you
And it's
narrate that however you like.
Fire damage. Yeah. So it is a lot lighter than she expected, and she kind of just like is going to just kind of try and nick him in the neck, but she like overshoots and kind of gets him in the ear and the head. And she looks surprised because she was not expecting to be this good at it at first.
Yeah, you swing, and
it
this thing just passes through the upper side of his head and burns it. The sword itself is not material, so it like passes through him after it hits, but 11 points of damage is pretty damn good. That'll be Marcel next.
Marcel will look to the creature in front of him and say, I think I found myself an opponent. And
It looks at you and like grins and snarls at the same time somehow.
And then he's like, I dubbed thee my opponent, and gives him Hexblade Curse.
You see him like grinning with these snarly tooth and fangs coming up out of its mouth, and then that little bit of like reddish gray black magic starts to dance around on him, and he prepares to like swing at you, but you obviously act first.
That's a 14 plus 1, so 15.
15 does not hit. So it's excited that it's fighting you. You go to swing at it, and then it does the same move you did, where it like jumps out of the way at the last second, using its weapon to sort of block it.
All right, he ends his turn.
Fantastic. That is going to be Athera. So Marcel and this bugbear are sort of locked in single combat. Athera, you're up there with this bugbear fighting you. What you doing?
Emboldened by the last time, I'm gonna go ahead and try hit him again with my blade.
Hell yeah.
It's a 9.
A 9 will not hit. Also, random note, Marcel, did you add a D4 for your bless on that attack?
Yeah, a 1d4.
Okay, yeah, if you added that, never mind. I didn't know if you added that or not. So yeah, Athera, you go to swing at this guy, and this bugbear was very confused by the like blade of fire in your hand, but now that it's hit him, he knows to watch out for it. So he positions himself where you have to like swing at an awkward angle not to hit the unconscious guy. And using that to his advantage, he dodges out of the way, and he is going to prep to strike you again next turn.
Cool. She goes, oh no.
Gwen, that'll be you.
Gwen's gonna move a little bit to get better line of sight, and she's going to attack the bugbear on Leo.
Go right ahead.
18?
18 will hit.
Okay, finally. 8 damage, and then a bonus 2.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you take a shot, and as it's sort of like attacking Leo, you shoot it in the shoulder, and you get really good connection with it bleeding a little bit from its arm now. Anything else, or is Lucian up?
That's it.
Lucian.
Lucian is going to pull out these 3 little tarts, and he's going to juggle them between his fingers and wave a feather above them, and they're going to start evaporating into this thick pink smoke, which he's going to hold there and hold his action to cast Hideous Laughter when this one dies. It's going to be twinned.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, you're holding to cast the spell. And just to clarify, you guys can give me either the action you're holding or the conditions for it. You don't have to give me both. So if you just want to say you're holding Hideous Laughter, you can cast it at any point as a reaction. So yeah, if you want to hold that, I think that'll be Rosari's, right? I think you're muted, Zach.
Yep.
We cast silence on you.
Or more.
Yeah, I coughed earlier and didn't unmute. Sorry.
There it is again, baby.
Anyways, I'm gonna go up here. The bugbear right here is still under the paralyzed condition, right?
Yes, the one with the little canceled out symbol by it.
Cool. Advantage. I'm going to attack, and I get a 21. And if
That
that doesn't
hits.
hit, I will. Okay, I'll not need bless. Thanks. So it's auto crit again. So what?
You can just
14.
roll normal sword damage, and we'll just add 10 to it. Or, sorry, add 8.
So 12 plus 8, 20. And then I'm gonna add smite to that as well.
For
just to
sure.
get it over.
Yeah, which 100% kills it. That extra 16 puts it like 6 points in the negative.
And then for my bonus action, it's one of those special weapon things you came up with, Pommel Strike.
Wait.
Oh,
Yeah, if
You go.
Lucian wants to go ahead and use his reaction, you can do that now.
Yeah, the swirly pink mist is going to shoot out at both of these right here and up here, and it's going to swirl around their heads, and they need to make a Wisdom 15.
Wisdom 15. All right, let's do number 1 first. That is that's a 14. It fails. And then bugbear number 2. That's a 6. Both of them fail.
So they fall over laughing, incapacitated.
They're incapacitated.
At least giving advantage to whatever anybody's going to do.
Yep. I believe incapacitated just gives advantage, not an auto crit.
Correct.
So if you want to do your pommel strike Rosaries, you can roll that with advantage. And let's give credit where credit's due. I didn't come up with those. I stole them from Baldur's Gate.
if that's the case, I'm not gonna do it on that one. I was right here. 15. I mean, I can't do what I want to do, so yeah, I'll do the pommel strike.
Go right ahead.
And pommel strike is I make what attack would that be with?
It's just a sword
my
attack.
sword?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it does like a lot of reduced damage. I think it only does 1d4.
Yeah. 21 to hit.
Yeah, it definitely hits. It didn't even
3 damage.
Sick. And I believe that gives it the dazed condition, but that sort of overlaps with incapacitated. So, yeah, Lucian, as Rosarius just carves through that first bugbear, turns around to smack the other one, you launch this spell at both bugbears who, mid-swing, start, like, coughing up and laughing, splaying wide, holding their chest, not able to control it, and then with that, Rosarius smacks this one in the head with his pommel and then continues marching off.
It does get to make the save again with advantage.
With advantage, you said?
Yep.
It still fails. It rolled a nat 1 and a 12.
Whew.
Alrighty. So, Leo, that will be you now.
Okay, Leo, still holding his shield up in front of him. He's going to, at first glance, can I see it's the guy is unconscious behind me, correct?
Guy 2 is unconscious. Guy 1
Oh.
is awake, but he's like bound and gagged. So he's like looking at you guys with his eyes darting everywhere, very, very scared.
Okay. Leo's, can I try to untie this guy?
Yeah, if you want to use your action to essentially like untie him, you can, but that is going to open you up to potentially getting attacked by this bugbear.
As Rosarius runs up, he's gonna tell you it's okay.
Oh, that's nice. That's good to hear once in a while.
Like,
Like-
go ahead. I got you.
Okay. Yeah, then that's what I'm gonna do.
So yeah, I'll say I'm not gonna make you roll for anything. You just go down and you start like attempting to untie or cut at these ropes and let this guy out. Which as soon as you take off his gag, he immediately calls out just like, "Not me! Help Selric!" And he motions his head over to Guy 2. But you're untying him and letting him loose. So on your next initiative turn, he will also act with you. That is gonna bring it to the bugbears though. 2 of them are dead. One of them is in. 2 of them are incapacitated. There's only 1 left. He is going to take a swing at you, Leo. That is a 19. 19.
You said me, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah, that hits.
Cool. That's gonna be a decent amount of damage.
That's
That's gonna be 11 points of piercing damage.
Which goes to me, not you.
So yeah, you feel the weapon like smack into your back and sink in, and for a brief second, you feel the pain of like the sparked barbs on this weapon like stab into your back through your armor. But then, just as it pulls out, the wounds close up. You no longer feel the pain. Rosaries, you feel a couple of wounds open up on your back as you take that 11 points of damage. That's all they can do. Nick, do they re-roll their saves at the end of their turn?
Yep.
Cool. Bugbear 1 got a nat 20, so he is going to save. Bugbear 2, however, with Marcel, is still over there, coughing up and laughing this like hideous, grotesque, deep, guttural sound that you guys would not call laughter. It almost sounds like a growl. And that brings it to Marcel.
Yeah. It is funny sometimes. Good to laugh, you know. But I heard laughter is the best medicine. And he's gonna attack with Jock with advantage.
Let's go. Advantage and bless. Hopefully, no misses.
23.
Definitely hits.
25 just for funsies. But alright. Does attack. With his sword.
Yep, go ahead and roll damage for me.
That will be 11 damage.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, as this thing is like laughing and trying to contain itself, trying to hold itself up on its feet, you swing with Jock and make a very good cut across this thing's like shoulder and chest. Blood dripping off of it now as it reels back from that, and it's gonna make the save again.
And another +2, so 13 total because of the Hexblade's curse.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Speaking of, yeah, so it takes that damage. It fails its save, even rolling with advantage. These things are not wise, and Lucian has a pretty solid save DC. You get a really strong cut against this thing, which will bring it over to Aethera. Bugbear in front of you is now fine. You see it like, after getting hit in the head and dazed a little bit, it snaps back into it, and it is prepping to strike you again. But you get to move first.
Oh no, it's back to reality.
And I'm like, Rosaris didn't hit it hard enough.
Hope. There goes gravity.
Oh, nat 20.
Oh? Let's go. Okay, what's your, what damage does Flame Blade deal?
3d6.
3d6?
Yep.
So first of all, go ahead and roll 3d6, just because I'm curious.
3 ones.
I'm just saying, maybe Rosaris knew this would happen.
14.
Damn. You get this thing down to almost negative of its full health with that. You deal 18 plus 14, so 32 points of damage as you take this Flame Blade and just stab straight into it and burn it from the inside, and it falls next to this second unconscious guy down here. It's fully dead. It's so dead. That's the most dead thing you've ever seen. It has a hole in its chest. It's that dead.
Oh my. Okay. And I'm gonna run over. I'm gonna like awkwardly walk around his body, and go over to Guy 2, and just like to try to like slap him awake. Like, oh, are you awake?
Yeah,
Hello?
I'll say as a bonus action, you can start like trying to wake this guy up for sure. I will roll a con save for him since you're not using an action. He fails, so he is still going to be passed out, but you can try to wake him up on your next turn. That'll bring it to Gwen with Lucian up next, but who knows if we'll even need it.
Okay, I'm gonna keep shooting the one by Leo.
Go for it. Oh, also,
right.
I know we forgot it, but you get a +2 on these attacks because you have an ally within 5 feet of it.
Yeah, okay.
I know there's a lot of rules to keep up
That's
with.
that one.
Ooh.
I think. Is it? I can't tell. It looks like a nat one on the thing, but the thing disappears for me, so I can't.
Oh,
wait.
Oh,
You can
it's
pull up
beautiful.
the
Scrolling down.
history.
I'm scrolling down. It's a 1.
It's a 1? Cool. Even
Yeah,
with your
it's a 1.
+2 bonus, even with Hunter's Mark, you go to take a shot at this thing, and I'm going to say the loud, disruptive, and disgusting sound you hear come from over where you know Athera is, as you hear a gurgling, hissing, almost boiling sound come from one of these bugbears' mouths. Distracts you long enough as you're like, what the hell is that? You let go of your shot and it swings up like a foot away from the bugbear.
Okay.
I
That's my turn.
demand that Shorty makes that noise.
Actually, I'm gonna move just a little bit. I'll move, like, I guess here.
I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I don't know if I can make the noise I just described. All right, Lucian, that'll bring it to you.
I will move. Oh, they have. Let me go here, and I'm going to go ahead and hold on to a bit of moon rock in my hand and begin crushing it. And I'm gonna hold a spell for the next person to make an attack at a bugbear.
All
Particularly
right.
this one.
Cool. So you're holding that. That'll bring it to Rosaris again. Rosaris, your back is now hurting and bleeding inside your armor. You're still mechanically fine, but what do you do?
I think as I'm running past, I just whisper to Leo, like, told you. And then I'm going to take one step further and attack the guy who attacked him.
Go right ahead. You get a +2 and your 1d4 for bless.
21 to hit without all of that?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Okay.
While you're rolling
Um,
damage, this is why I told you guys there's that optional rule of if you hit 10 above an armor class, you deal max damage. This is when that would come in handy, because all those bonuses would have been crazy.
13 damage.
Damn. Yeah, it's dead.
Can we say as I'm running up and I like shove my shield into him and do my sword to where his body will go over there so that I can just keep going?
Yeah, you push this guy back and shove your sword through him. You feel your sword clink against the stone of this cave wall, and his body drops to the ground as you keep going.
And then I'm just gonna get right here, and mechanically I don't have a bonus action, so I guess it's almost like I'm turning the corner and trying to assess the situation of like, how can I help Marcel?
Yeah, you walk forward, and I think the thing that like almost confuses you a little bit is the bugbear is still being affected by that like laughing fit that you saw one of them take. This one is still doing the same thing.
Oh, fun. Yeah, I think it kind of confuses me, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, but you flank it, you give that extra bonus to anyone else. That'll bring it to Leo. Leo, you take this guy out, you loose his binds, he stands up, brushes himself off, and he tells you that on the other side is his the guy he came with, Selric, and he's the one who's really hurt.
Okay, Leo is going to cast Healing Word on Guy 2.
Fantastic. You peer through the crack where you can see him, you cast Healing Word, and if he was dying or injured, a little bit of that comes back as he gets that extra little bonus. Also, don't forget, it doesn't really matter right now, but Healing Word is no longer 1d4, it is 2d4.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to help you if you like roll it manually, but you can always just roll it and then add a d4 to it. But yeah, you heal Guy 2, you watch as like some of the bruises and scrapes and cuts along his unconscious body as Aethera's like slapping him awake start to dissipate and disappear.
Oh wow, my slaps are magical.
Is he getting up?
He's still unconscious, but he is healed.
Okay. Then Leo's gonna step forward and he's gonna cast Cure Wounds. He's gonna touch Rosari's back and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Hell yeah, go ahead and roll it. And don't forget, this one is now 2d8, not 1d8. So you got 5 plus a d8.
Seven.
7 points of healing for you.
You just see a nod of his head as he's focused, but kind of a cocked head because he's like, this guy's on the ground laughing. That's kind of weird.
Leo's gonna kind of push him forward, and he's gonna be like, "This changes nothing."
You're right. You're still worthless.
I will ask mechanically, do you want to push Rosari's forward a square and also get close to that bugbear, or are you just standing behind him?
No, I'm just gonna stand behind him, just kind of shove him a little bit.
Cool.
but not,
Bugbear
like, pushing him.
is going to re-roll its save. Nick, correct me if I'm wrong. He re-rolls the save at the end of his turn? Or is it the
Skip
beginning?
his turn, basically.
Okay, yeah. He's going to roll the save. He still fails. These guys suck so bad. Maybe I suck because I'm rolling for them. He takes his weapon and like starts to swing at Marcel, but then like another fit of coughing and laughing takes this thing over, and it like falls to one knee, and you just hear this gross growling sound coming from it as it is, incapacitated yet again. Marcel, that opens you up. What are you doing?
Advantage.
You have advantage.
That'll
Uh,
trigger
he'll
my
actually-
spell too.
You actually try to defeat this creature non-lethally.
Yeah, if you just want to try to knock it out, you can do that.
He was knocking him out. Okay, and
Ooh, actually, I think I might have misread this. I don't think you get advantage on incapacitated creatures, but since you're trying to knock them out, I'm just going to let you keep that for this time anyway. Lucian, what was the spell you were prepping? Because I'm going to let you take that before Marcel fully dedicates.
Basically, the dust forms into this like glowing pale moon, and it goes from like a crescent shape to a full moon, and then it surrounds Marcel as he makes his attack, giving him a D4.
All right, Marcel, you get 2d4 to add to this roll because of Bless and Lucian's spell.
all right. So
You also get a +2 because of Rosari's, so you got a lot of
I don't
bonuses.
see. I got a 21 plus 1 would be 22 plus 3 would be 25 plus 2 because I'm flanking 27.
Yeah, that is 11 points over its armor class, so you definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage for Jacques.
9, so I got 14 damage.
That is exactly its hit points. You take this thing down to 0 and successfully knock it out. Last one.
Yeah, Marcel would be like, this guy is a really comedian. I love this man. You know how much I love him? I love so much. He grabs the flat Jock's blade. I love it so much that I just need to knock it out. And the poor bugbear is now asleep.
Yeah. You smack this thing across the head, and it just like ragdolls, falls limp on the ground, and it is knocked out. Not dying, but like effectively, it cannot do anything anymore. Athera, I'm just gonna say you take your action. You get this guy up. He comes to consciousness. You take off some of his spines, and he like looks around, very very scared for a second. He's just like, "What's the?"
You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. You're fine.
He looks at you. He sees the glowing flame blade in your hand. He's just like, "Oh God."
Oh no, no, and I'm gonna like let the spell go. But no, it's fine. We're here. We saved you.
Thank
Are you
goodness.
okay?
I think so. Last I remember, my leg was broken. I had a big cut on my arm, but I think I'm good.
Yeah, my friend is a cleric. I think he gave you something. But how'd you end up here?
Me and Lyron came over to investigate the noises and the lights, and then when we started going towards the lighthouse, and he points to the 2 dead bugbears on the ground. He's like, those things.
Oh, ugly hairy men.
Those ugly hairy men?
I mean, ignore me. Or you were saying?
I mean, we were just traveling trying to investigate everything, and we guess it was them that was causing all of the ruckus, but they knocked us out and took us up here, and then we've been here ever since. Been at least a day, 2 days.
Well, I think your friend's over on the other side. Why don't we all go over there with the rest of my friends and we can figure out what we're gonna do next.
Yeah, you guide him over. He runs over, and those two guys like hug and then sit down at the table. They check each other over as you guys are left to talk to yourselves.
Marcel sits on the defeated bugbear that's still alive.
Why not
So that's
see if
really
there's
entertaining.
any, like, evidence of any goblins anywhere? Because I thought she saw, like, maybe some footprints that were kind of more goblin.
Yeah, I was describing these bugbear footprints because they were with the goblins. I didn't want to just give you everything. You rolled really well though, but no, there you can tell looking around. There's no actual goblins here. It's just these bugbears this time. But I will say that you kind of assess the area using that roll from before, and you think this was all of them. You don't think there's more than 5 here.
Okay.
I'm
I
gonna
want to make sure.
come over to Gwen and like quietly so that the two guys can't hear. So they don't seem to have, they think that the bugbears were the source of the noise. Should we keep it that way?
Just like the two guys? Like, have to tell them or like the whole party?
No. I just don't know if we should we tell the guys and the villagers about our little friend.
Oh, probably not, but I don't really know how exactly we could hide it. Well, it did turn invisible, so maybe he can do that when we go back through the village, if it comes with us.
It might see us coming back to it and run out to greet you while the other
Maybe.
people are with us.
Do you want me to, like, go ahead or something?
Oh, I think we should talk to the rest of the group before we do that. I just was curious if you've had any.
I think it would be better to keep it a secret.
I agree.
Okay.
Man, they've been whispering for a while.
It's girl talk.
Fair enough. Sorry.
I will
Let's just
say,
keep going, ladies.
while they were doing that, I probably gave them a few of the rations and some waters.
Yeah, you walk over to take care of the two guys. You hand them some food and some water, and they really, really appreciate it. They're like sitting on the table. They start like stuffing their faces and chugging the water. I'll let you decide. Like, what do you say to them? They're going to be so distracted eating that they don't even have the time to thank you immediately.
I think I'll just tell them, like, it's gonna be okay. We can talk as I escort you back to your village. You've taken a second.
They nod along, and one of them finishes their drink, and the first guy, Lyron, he's like, "Thank you, we really appreciate it. This is not a good situation for us, but once we get back to the village, we'll make sure you're taken care of. We have plenty of food and things. We'll cover for your night to stay. Do we have a way back? Do we need to walk?"
We brought a boat with us, which I'm assuming y'all are more comfortable with.
Yeah, absolutely. And he hands you back the water skin, and he stuffs his face.
Yes. And next time, ask for adventures. Don't be heroes yourselves.
They give you like thumbs up from in between bites and nod their head.
And then I'll head back and give them some space.
I think David said be right back, but I was going to ask him to help me investigate the room.
Yeah, I'll still give you advantage. Just tell me kind of like what you're looking for. If you're investigating,
I'm going to do a general check of everything and see if there's anything useful or that indicates what their actual plans were. I mean, I don't know much about these, I guess, so
Yeah. Go ahead, give me.
These Machiavellian bugbears. It's grand strategists.
I guess
While we're all playing checkers, they're playing chess.
while he's doing that, can I, if I roll as well, can I look for like scraps of metal I can use?
Yeah,
for making weapons.
I will say with Lucian's roll, because he has the biggest bonus to investigation, I'm sure. Anyone who is looking for anything specific, I'll say Aethir and Gwen, you guys are kind of in conversation, but like Rosaries, Marcel, if you guys want to like tell Lucian to keep an eye out for anything, you can. So Rosaries is looking for bits of metal or crafting materials. Marcel, you got anything, or are you just sitting on your bugbear?
Marcel will actually ask Lucy if he could find anything that's maybe belong to children, because that might be sad if that's the case.
Sure. Lucian, you sort of take a lap around the room looking at everything. Most of these seem to be supplies looted from like the nearby village areas, like all of the cabins and cottages that you guys passed. There's broken bits of furniture. There's like crates and stuff of old food. There are a couple of like broken metal pieces that you like nod to Rosaries and you stuff them in the bag of holding. Just like loose iron and things like that. That Rosaries, you'll have the time to like clean up and potentially use for crafting stuff. Not a huge amount, but definitely enough to craft a couple of medium-sized objects. You keep an eye out for, as Marcel said, like things that belong to children. You don't notice anything here, at least nothing that you think was recent. Anything that you find you think might have been looted from the houses that have been abandoned for years. Other than that, you don't find much useful stuff. It's mostly just like old, broken, almost like rotting materials and things like that.
Okay.
But you do like survey the room and you get a good look at everything. And you're very certain that like it's clear and there's nothing else here to worry about.
Oh, did the bugbears have anything on them? Crude weaponry or whatever?
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think about that. But if you want to investigate like the bugbears' bodies, they have like scraps and bits of armor that you could take. Like that could even help Rosaries, like the bits of metal from that. They have like crudely made morning stars that they're using for weapons, and then like some shoddy javelins, even with like just broken off bits of metal at the end.
How many javelins would that be?
Let's just say like 10 javelins and then 5 morning stars, as that's how many bugbears there were. Seems like a good number.
Okay.
So, Lucian, did they have anything that belonged to children recently?
No, I think Gwen found a picture of you, though.
Okay, so I don't really regret keeping him alive. That's good. He turns to the knocked out bugbear, smiles, pats the bugbear on the back of his head. I want you to get nice and strong. I want to fucking fight you again. I want you to become a lot better, bugbear. Learn from your mistakes.
This thing is
That's
snoring
the whole
so
reason why I
loud.
kept it alive.
Yeah.
Like, what's your plan with the bugbear exactly?
Oh, leave him. I want him to wake up. Wake up knowing that everyone around him is dead. I want him to get stronger, tougher. I want him to remember us.
This is just cruel.
What if he gets like reinforcements and brings it to this area again?
Then we'll
What's
stop
the
it again.
dragon?
We'll stop him.
Or fuck with the dragon bones?
Wait, time out. Fucking with the Dragon Bones. Didn't we just have a whole conversation about the Dragon Bones getting easily be
You guys hear
Anyway.
one of the guys over on the table just with a mouthful of food just goes, "Animal."
Yeah, dragon
There's
bones.
a
Sorry,
dragon outside. It's a little black dragon.
dragonborns. You know, like me.
No,
And
a
I
little
like come
black
over.
dragon.
And I'm gonna come over and like
Like
grab
small.
Marcel by the ear.
No.
While he does that, I want to.
You drag Marcel out, and they look at Gwen, and then she like covers with dragonborns, and that's enough for them to just be like, sure, I guess so, and they just continue eating.
So she dragged Marcel out, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Can I go ahead and slit the bugbear's throat?
Yeah. If you want to give me a sleight of hand check, I'll let Marcel roll a perception with disadvantage to notice this. Actually, Juan, I want to give you some agency here. I'll let you tell me if you're resisting Athera dragging you out. Roll flat.
Yeah, because he doesn't. He's not a big fan of just killing something unceremoniously like that, especially because he did go out of his way not to kill it.
Yeah, so I'll let you guys roll me a sleight of hand versus perception. Big old fat 0. Beautiful.
18.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Juan, I'll let you tell me. Athera couldn't realistically like grab you by your ear and drag you outside. If you're resisting against it, you see Rosari's coming up to like slit the bugbear's throat.
Rosari's would first see an Eldritch Blast hitting his shield. He's still playing. Marcel's still joking around with the ear thing because he thought that's kind of funny. What he does not find funny is that what Rosari's trying to do. He's like, "Hold on, Athera. Rosari's, we're not just gonna kill a person who's knocked down, have no way to defend themselves."
I lean down, give the bugbear one lay on hands, and then attempt to stab it. Because the one lay on hands will bring it back up.
Juan, I'm gonna let you decide. Again, Athera can't really move you with just an ear. If you want to still be on the bugbear or within range to defend it, you can like keep Rosari's from fully making contact.
Yeah, Rosari's will. Marcel will like, "Hey, Rosari's, it's taken care of. He's okay. We could take care of him
Also, I
later."
do also want you to like remember what these bugbears did to these 2 fishermen.
Yeah, we killed all of the other ones. This one can learn.
We cannot
Right.
kill it now. We already took the effort to knock it out. It's unethical.
Yeah, they can learn from their
It is unethical
I feel
to
like-
leave a being alive that will inevitably go out and kill more people.
And you should have killed it before it was knocked out.
I had no choice in the matter. I do have a choice now.
I'm gonna say
Your choices are getting us killed.
My choice is getting us killed.
This could have
I don't-
gone south. Both of these guys, these fishermen could have died because you rushed in arrogance.
I rushed in because I cared for their lives while you were pity-paddling down, discussing plans, wasting time.
We could have snuck in and pulled them out without a fight.
Honestly, they could have been dead when we walked in. We needed a plan coming in here.
But they weren't dead.
You
They
didn't
would
know
have
that
been.
for sure coming in here, did you?
Does it matter?
You got
It
lucky
does
this
matter.
time.
You did.
Next time, somebody could be dead, and it could be one of us.
And next time, don't waste time coming up with a plan. Have a plan. Think it through before we get to it.
Is that what you did here, Rosaris? Honestly, it
we were
feels like you're
thinking
having a hero complex. And
I
we're
don't have a
feeding
hero. You're feeding me. You're feeding my hero complex. I am simply trying to save lives. Something I
By
see
taking
you
this one?
actually. Yes.
But he's not doing anything.
You're gonna tell me that the bugbear that kidnapped 2 fishermen did nothing. Took
Did he kill?
possibly parents away from their children.
You don't know
Oh,
where this
so-
bugbear came from. What if it has children? What if it has a family?
But didn't it kind of
It
Forfeit
forfeited
its
What if we
rights
just
back?
kill
right.
it?
I will say this. I'm going to stab this bugbear in 5 seconds. And if you make a move in those 5 seconds,
Marcel moves. Just like, heck, doesn't even want to hear. Just
I will say, if I'm going to be taken out, I'd rather be taken out while I'm knocked out. Just me personally.
I can't let you attack it cold-blooded like this either. So I'm going to prepare a spell as he says this as well.
At this point, with Rosari's prepping to attack, Lucian prepping a spell, the 2 guys like quickly swallow down their food, and both of them just yell like, "Hey, guys, this is not important right now. I think we need to make sure that there's no more nearby." I'm not gonna even give my 2 cents here. This is not my fight to have, but all I will say is we were both very ready to get back to the village. If some people would escort us down there, that would be great. And then if anyone else wants to stay and investigate, that might also not be a bad plan. Because again, we were here to make sure that everybody was safe. If these are all of the creatures here, I think we're pretty safe. And then the other guy, Selric, pipes up and he says, and just to add some information for you guys here, these creatures are you keep saying people, like you don't want to kill people cold-bloodedly like this. I feel like calling them people would be a stretch. They are called monsters. It'd be like, yes, he just starts like fumbling over his words and sort of stops, and the other guy, pats him on the shoulder, and he's just like, listen, can we two just leave now before you guys have this little bout, this fight that you're having?
Can Gwyn, Leo, and Rosaris take them down?
I'm actually gonna go check out the dead dragonborn. Some other people could escort them if.
Are they gonna be able to find their way alone?
I'll escort them on my own. It's apparent my company is not wanted here. Let's go.
That's not what we're saying, Resize.
It's fine, just let him go.
They both nod and sort of like awkwardly walk through you guys as Rosaris guides them out of the mountain.
On my way out, I just want to put my hand on Marcel's shoulder and say, don't live to regret your decisions. And not waiting for a response, just continues on.
For sure. You guys head off. You're taking them back. It'll take you a couple hours to get back to the boat.
Specifically, I'm going to take them like on the path, not to the Dragonborn.
Yeah. I'll say that you can definitely avoid that. So Rosaris takes Lyran and Selric, these two captives, off. So the rest of you are left here. Gwen, if you would like to go ahead and leave out to go take care of the dragon and check on that,
Gwen's
you can.
gonna go.
Hell yeah. So Gwen is also out. That leaves Marcel, Aethera, Lucian, and Leo with this unconscious bugbear.
This is a dilemma, Marcel. I don't condone violence, especially in this state, but this creature could very well harm the dragon or the people again.
It's fine. Let it. Let it go out there. How
We
can
need
we
to do
tell if
something.
it's
Maybe
What,
wake
we're
it
gonna
up.
put it in a cage?
No, maybe wake it up and shake it up and make it regret its decisions. I don't know.
It'll wake up and it'll regret its decision knowing all of its brothers are dead.
That could enrage
then
it,
what?
and it could lash out.
If you woke up and saw all your brothers were dead, what would you do?
Understand that I made some poor life choices.
And then you would go get revenge.
No,
Wow, you're a special one.
I can tell you that these
I
creatures
get that a
are
lot.
very, very subject to my spells, and they're not one for critical thinking.
Look, I can't just harm a creature that's really didn't really put up much of a fight. Kind of sad, wasn't it?
That or we're just that strong.
Marcel, if it's hard, you can walk out of here now and
Don't
Choose
talk
to
to me like
remember
that. There. Don't talk
that
to
it's alive.
me there. Don't talk to me like that.
Well, you need to make a
I-
decision.
And just
Marcel,
let it go.
I don't think this is the decision for us. I think me and you should head back to the dragon.
We should just let it go. Fine. I mean, you have to give it a chance.
Why?
Because a lot of people want chances. A lot of things need chances.
It
And
has.
just taking it, just removing it.
DM, was there anything left to investigate? You said you mentioned investigation of some type.
Yeah, your investigation check was high enough to know that you have essentially cleared this room. There's nothing else really useful here. You guys collected all the armor and weapons and bits of metal. The rest of it's just like broken up chests, torn clothing, broken furniture, stuff like that.
Leo, will you go back to the lighthouse with me and check it over one more time?
Sure, let's go.
And I'm going to look at both of the two that are remaining. Just make the right choice.
All right, and Lucian and Leo head out. Athera and Marcel, I'm gonna let you guys just tell me sort of how this scene comes to an end.
Marcel like looks at there. If it becomes a problem again, we'll kill it. I just couldn't kill something that really didn't put up any fight. And it becomes even stronger or worse, or gather a whole army or even a horde, I'll gladly try to stop it. But right now, I think the best thing to do is just let it go. Maybe learn from his mistakes. I want to give it that chance.
Honestly, we all know my stance already.
You're gone.
Yeah, Leo's gone.
Leo.
Talking to.
Athera's gonna like look really torn. And then she's gonna say, I really respect that. I just don't think now is the time. And she's gonna pull out her scimitar and she's going to go to end this bugbear's life.
Marcel pulls out his sword. Dear.
She's not gonna stop. She's gonna basically be like, make him choose that bugbear or hurt me.
He thinks for Marcel thinks for a second, and that second, he just jumps at the sword. It's a scimitar. Doesn't even try to attack Deer, just jumps at it.
Like,
So he wants to try to take this strike instead of he's trying to take the strike. Gets stabbed by the scimitar.
I'll stop.
That's it. And there's a chance. You had a chance to stab me. He didn't. Like, we all can make choices.
So we're like,
Stab me.
that's because I know you're better. And I know you and I trust you. And then she's just gonna walk away. She'll be like, okay. She's gonna walk to leave.
All right, Athera heads out. Marcel, I'm assuming you stay behind for just a minute or two after Athera leaves the cave, and then eventually you also head out.
Yeah.
And
Marcel just pats the bugbear.
yep, that's where we're gonna take our break. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so, and we'll see how all of these things resolve themselves. So we'll see you guys soon. Alrighty, and we are back. Cool. So, right now the party is split. We are in a couple different groups. I'm going to tackle this sort of in the order that I remember people making choices by. Let's start with Rosaries. You took those two captive guys, the fishermen, Lyran and Selric. You went, you took the boat, they will help you row it across the lake, and you guys get back to Brookley. What is that travel like? Do you ask them any questions? And when you get back, do you just like let them go and then head back? Or is there anything else on your agenda?
I didn't know that the plan was to take them back on their own, because I don't know if I can row a boat on my own.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
I thought I was just gonna take them there and we can kind of get the boat ready to go.
Yeah, that's fine. I made a lot of assumptions there.
Yeah, I'm strong. I don't know if I'm that strong.
Okay, yeah.
I also assumed you were just gonna get the boat ready.
I'm just like getting the boat ready. I may make small talk or something with him, like learning more about the
fishery.
Like that. Nothing
Yeah.
important though.
Cool.
Trying to make him feel comfortable with us.
With my assumptions deleted now, backspaced, retconned, you get the boat prepped and you sit there with the guys. All of you will fit on the boat together. And you just like make small talk with them. They tell you the story about like they came up and there was like one or two goblins over on the like shoreline near some of the houses that they fought and they defeated, and they were like, oh, this is gonna be easy. So they went to investigate, and as they got near the lighthouse, they never got in it because they got taken by these bugbears first. So they just kind of tell you that story, tell you about, you know, their families back home. One of them has a wife and a kid. The other one's Selric. He's a little bit younger, like in his mid-20s. Yeah, you sit there and talk to them. Moving on next, I believe Lucian and Leo left to go to the lighthouse. I will let you guys tell me sort of what you do, what you talk about, and if you make any checks or not.
I thought it was gonna be Gwen next. Sorry, we were talking.
Gotta go.
So first, let me go ahead and do the lighthouse part. I do have something I want to say to David, but I gotta remember what it was. Lighthouse. I want to have him help me thoroughly search literally anything of proof to what magical studies or things were happening there, because I don't think we actually solved what caused the lights yet.
Yeah, give me an investigation check with advantage, and I will use that because it's an intelligence-based skill. I'll like potentially connect some of the dots for you as
I
you're.
think it has something to do with the drift globes, but it was never confirmed 100%. So, with advantage, 19.
19. Yeah, you and Leo go back and you look around. You find like one or two journals that you quickly scan through, and they're just like personal journals of some of the workers who lived here. You guys already got the main books and things, and you sort of like talk with Leo and bounce back and forth, and you think that ultimately, with the illusion magic that was cast here recently, with the book that was left out, your biggest thread that you're following is you think it was the little dragon. I can't say that you would know why by any means, but I will say that you're like, clearly this dragon is like able to cast some magic, specifically illusion magic, because it was invisible. It had like the giant dragon illusion that was there. You think that it was causing the light in the lighthouse.
Just a side note, as we walked to the lighthouse, I probably would have checked in vision-wise with Lune. Are they still fine?
Yeah, I think you can do that at this range. I don't really remember Find Familiar very well, but regardless, if you want to swing down by and like check in on them, they're totally fine. Lune and this little nameless black dragon are just playing games right now and like chasing each other around. And then occasionally they'll hear like a little sound in the woods and both perk up and look, and then go back to chasing each other. So they're doing great.
Leo,
Yes.
what do you think about that back there? Not the tower, not the dragon, the Viserys.
Honestly, I get where Viserys is coming from, being that I'm part of the Church of Corteus, and it's something that I've dealt with from my father and my brother, where it's kill to save the lives of others and prevent it from happening again, and prevent further destruction by killing it head on, if that makes any sense at all. But at the same time, my mother taught me to be patient and kind. I don't know, it was just, in a way, I think that it was triggering for me. You obviously know that I don't agree. I don't kill. So
I don't either, right? I mean, I get that. Marcel saving that entity was probably questionable, but I'm concerned about, he has so much anger and darkness in almost everything he does at times. Like it overtakes him. Did you get that too?
Right. No, yeah, I totally got the
seething
same thing.
with anger.
I don't know. I don't know what goes on in Rasari's like personal life or anything like that, or what he's dealing with. He doesn't really talk much, but I can see where you're coming from. And I think it's something that actually needs to be addressed as a group.
I think so too, and if not, we need to be aware of it and make sure that brash decisions don't happen like this regularly. I don't want to see any of us killed or the targets of our missions killed because we rush in and they get their throats slit or something before we can even do anything. But I also don't want him to lash out on us. So,
Right. No, exactly. I think that fight could have gone a completely different way. We could have all died. We didn't know what was in there.
something to
And
be
it's
mindful of, I guess.
Right. I don't know. We need to get a hold of this though.
All right, and with that, I'll just walk back to wherever we're walking. I'm assuming we're gonna meet Gwen on the back end as she gets towards the dragon after she does whatever she's doing there.
Yeah.
That's where Lucian would want to go next.
Yeah, Leo, did you have anything that you specifically wanted to do? Because I know Lucian was investigating. Are you just along for the ride, or?
No, I think Leo's just kind of lost in thought with everything that's happened so far and hitting so close to home.
Yeah.
And his internal struggles and such. So
For sure.
it's just kind of quiet.
All right. With that, Gwen, you were the next person to leave, I believe. You head back down the mountain to Lune and this little baby dragon creature. You come up to them as they are playing and chasing each other. Eventually, like, one of them gets tumbles down and rolls over and just starts kicking the other one with its feet, and then hops back up and continues running. Occasionally Lune will fly up and this dragon jumps and flaps its wings a little bit, but it clearly can't fly. But they notice you approach, and then they both stop, and then the little black dragon runs back, sits back on the skeleton very, very quickly, almost hiding the fact that it was playing, and then sits up very attentive and is pretends to be on the lookout.
As Gwen's walking in there, she's going to rummage through her bag and get out the coloring book, because that's the only parchment she has on her. And she's gonna get a writing utensil buried deep in there somewhere. All right. So we've taken care of the ugly hairy men, so I don't think you have to worry about that anymore. As for the skeleton, we can let some important people know, and they can probably try to do whatever you want with it.
It looks down at the skeleton and then looks back at you and just kind of shrugs a little bit. I don't have any ideas. It doesn't really know what to do. But it doesn't seem against the idea. It's going along with what you're saying, nodding a little bit. And then it takes this parchment. I say parchment. This is a little coloring book that you have. It takes a crayon across one of the sides of the pages. It writes a little message and hands it to you, and it just says, "Skeleton not safe here. I just want it safe."
Okay, we can try to do that. We know some people who have pretty powerful magic, so I'm sure they can figure something out.
It nods.
How do you know magic, by the way?
It thinks for a second and then gets the coloring book, and then it sits up with the coloring book and acts like it's going through reading a book, and pretends to adjust its glasses and is just holding it up and pretends to read the coloring book.
So I take it maybe you learned stuff from the tower we originally found you at?
It taps itself on the nose and points at you. Nods.
Okay. I was just wondering if maybe, if you did know some sort of dragon magic instinctually or something, maybe you could, teach me. I don't know. Just a thought.
furrows its eyebrows and kind of thinks for a second, and then it looks over at Lune, and Lune shakes her head, and then it turns back to you, and it says, shrugs again.
Can you breathe anything like acid? Maybe I heard Black Dragonborn can breathe that, so
It
I assume maybe it's the same.
takes in a deep breath, and you see it like cock its head to the side a couple of times, and then it attempts to breathe something, and it just like spits out on the ground.
Well, at least you tried. I can do that with lightning. That's pretty cool. And Gwen just kind of like charges up some lightning electricity in her mouth a little bit just to show it off. But then she's just gonna say, you probably shouldn't really stay here. I don't think you would live a very fulfilled life, just standing here guarding this thing.
I'm going to let you decide what check this is, but give me either an animal handling or an insight check, and I will give you advantage.
Okay. They're both the same for me, so I guess I'll do insight.
Yeah.
I got a dirty 20.
Ooh, not bad.
Yeah.
Physically, the dragon like listens to what you're saying and then nods a little bit and then looks back down at the skeleton there, and then starts to look back at you, and you're thinking that the main thing that's probably keeping this thing here is this skeleton. It told you that it doesn't even know if this is its parent or not. It has no idea. But you can tell that if this skeleton is safe, then yeah, the dragon kind of like it agrees with you, and it says, that's its main mission, and if that mission's complete, it's free to do something else, whatever it wants. So it kind of nods along with you, lost in thought, but you can tell that its main priority is just keeping this skeleton safe.
Well, do you maybe want to either stay here until we get like the magic people, or do you maybe want to come with and talk to those people yourself?
It nods and points at the ground.
Stay here? Okay. Well, as long as you think you can stay safe, I take it you can hunt. You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
It gives you a little thumbs up, and then...
Yep.
Anything else before we move on?
Gwen is curious as to where this thing, like, hatched out. So she is gonna ask it where it hatched. She just wants to look at the egg if it's still there, like the little shells.
The interesting thing is that even if it did remember where it hatched out, it would bring you over to like a little cave that's not very far away from this skeleton, surely. And there is no egg left, which would mean that to your best assumption, that egg would have had to have hatched a while ago for it to fully decompose by now.
Okay. Alright. Well, I guess since you're fine, you can go do your thing. We'll probably... I don't know if we'll come back specifically, but we'll definitely have people come and take a look and help you out.
It nods along, gives you a thumbs up, and then keeps standing post and looking
Alright.
around very pensively. Do you stay there,
Gwen
or do
is
you
going to
head
go to
back?
the-
Yeah, you go back to the...
Oh,
cool,
she's
cool.
gonna go back, yeah.
Yeah, all right. I just wanted to check on that. So, Gwen
Yeah.
is back to the boat. Athera. I will also say that Lucian and Leo, you guys probably, on your way back, meet back up with Gwen as she stayed there for a while, and you guys all head to the boat together. But Athera, what were you doing in this time?
Well, I think Marcel and I are walking back together, I'm assuming, unless he didn't.
No, Marcel would definitely try to catch up to Tira.
So she's gonna try and she's either gonna stay quiet or suss out if Marcel is open to talking about what happened back in the cave.
You wouldn't really need insight. I mean, he seems like he's always open for a conversation.
So maybe 20 minutes into the walk, she's gonna be like, so why did you decide not to kill it? Like, what was behind that?
Oh, it was not honorable. You know, it's kind of a. I gave it the whole, me and it dual luck dies, cross weapons, and it just kind of just collapsed there, and I didn't get hit. It was like, don't struggle. Might as well be hitting a training dummy.
So honor means a lot to you?
Yeah.
Enough that you
Yes.
enough that you would want to argue with your entire party and just put your life on the line for a bugbear?
I mean, if it was a human, I'd probably do that same thing too. Maybe doing something like that, just killing something just so matter of factly after we just did a bunch of other killings. We're not monsters, are we?
Well, no, I don't think we're monsters.
But we just killed them all, or except for that one, because I stepped in.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we would have been fine to kill it, but I respect your decision, knowing that you know that if it hurts anyone else, it's kind of on your hands.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. I have to. I gave it a chance. That's what most things want, right? It's just second chance.
Can I see if there's like something deeper when he says that? That's
Yes,
like,
you can definitely do an insight for that one.
yeah, I'm gonna do the insight for that one.
And I'll do a deception.
I was gonna say, Juan, if you want to, you can either roll deception or persuasion. You don't even have to tell us which one, but if you're like trying to mask it, I would call it deception. You're not necessarily lying by any means, but I feel like deception would be your ability to hide intention.
Metal dice.
Ooh, and see.
Oh, okay.
I got a 14.
18.
Oh no, wait, I did the wrong one. It would be 16, but it doesn't matter.
I will say, Juan, I'll let you give the information here. Even on a 16, that's pretty close. She's not quite getting to the root of it, but does Aethera pick up on anything, if anything?
Yeah, she definitely can pick on something off with his tone. Mostly just that the honor is a lot less stalwart than the chances. Pretty much. That's that's definitely surface level thing. It seems like the chance is more what he's focused on than the honor.
Yep.
But there's still some honoring there. It's just
For sure.
interesting.
She's gonna like, upon making that discovery observation, she's gonna kind of like nod. She'll be like, well, I don't necessarily agree with your decision, but I respect you for it, for the heart behind it. But good luck with the rest of the party. And then she's good.
Marcel definitely. Hey, I mean, that's what I expected from this group. We're all gonna have our differences. I hope we just be friends and understand each other. But it seems like that's something that's gonna be very tricky down the road, especially with Rosarius.
Why do you say that?
I really do like the guy, and I really do enjoy his ability and skills. But killing things just so black and white, there is some morally gray to it, right?
I mean, yes, but I think in Rosari's perspective, they were monsters. They needed to be killed. I think that's just a matter of perspective. I have the same perspective.
And that's the problem. We all have different perspectives. Does that mean Rosarius gets to kill anyone because his perspective says differently?
Marcel, I'm too tired for this. She's gonna like kind of just be like, we probably should just.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, I'll say.
Let's talk about it.
I'll
Let's
tell you
be
something else.
rested.
You know what? What do you call a spellcaster who specializes in condiments? A sorcerer.
She's
And then she's
Marcel.
gonna keep telling a bunch of other jokes.
At that point, Rosaris, you and the other two hear a very loud groan approaching, as you could tell that's the sound of someone who just heard a Marcel joke. With that, Gwen, Leo, Lucian, any sort of last calls as you guys head back through the forest?
I need to go to the dragon one more time.
Yeah, you and Leo can definitely swing back by on the way. It's kind of, on the way back anyway. So sure, you walk up to the dragon, you pick up Lune. What else do you do?
I'm going to leave Lune, actually, until we come back, if we come back. At least for a time. I can conjure her back into my existence if I need her, but...
Yeah.
So I just want to ask, in the tower, did you make all those orbs? It was kind of part of our mission to figure out what the lights and the weird things happening there were.
It shakes its head and then it looks around on the ground and then it finds like a rock and picks it up, and you watch it like concentrate for a second and move its hand, and then the rock starts to glow this like bright, almost like pinkish blue cotton candy color light.
So you like illusion magic?
It shakes its head. Yes.
I'm going to leave Lune with you for a time, and also I'm going to reach in my bag and pull out some inkwells, a vial, a quill, and just some paper. I'm going to leave it behind. I'm also going to take one of the papers and scratch some knowledge that I have of illusion magic and my spells, and I'm just going to write a copy of them basically so that he can have them for study.
Sure, yeah. I will say most of what you could leave is going to overlap with that book that you guys got. And again, to your best assumption, this creature was reading this book and was using that to like channel that illusion magic. To the best of your knowledge as a wizard, this thing definitely has some inherent magical properties, almost like a sorcerer, but with reading the book was able to channel those into specific spells. So if you wanted to attempt to like see if it could cast specific spells, you could like point those out to it, but you could definitely leave the notes and things here for it. But that book kind of covers most of it.
Yeah, I guess I won't do illusion magic then. I'll do like transmutation or some other school just to keep its interest so it doesn't get bored here.
I'll let you tell me, out of your spell book, if you want to pick like one or two spells to quickly jot down, which ones?
Misty Step would be cool. And maybe Unseen Servant so that he can have some help if he wants it.
Do you know how intimidating it would be to have an adult black dragon Misty Step behind you?
Nothing personal, kid.
I was about to say the same thing.
Like, you're getting ready to
Or
fight with
behind
your
you.
full
That's
party. You have the
personal.
tanks in the front line. Your squishy, partial, magic users in the back, and he just teleports behind and murders all the magic users.
That is hilarious. But yeah, you can jot those down really quick, all the components needed, stuff like that. It only takes you a couple minutes to just write it. You leave them with the dragon. He like takes them and like makes sure that they don't fly away, sticks them under a rock and something. And then he looks at Lune. They do the awkward fist tail bump again. And then as soon as you guys go to walk away, they start playing again.
I'm gonna miss Lune so much. Yeah, that's it.
All right. At this point, you guys all head back to the boat. You all collect with the two captive fishermen that you rescued. It is getting a little bit later in the day. At this point, it's probably like 4 p.m. It's getting right around dinner time. You guys are probably definitely hungry at this point. Sun is barely visible through the clouds. There's a very like gray sky in the air, but you occasionally see those like sun rays peeking through across the lake. Setting in the east. Rosaris, you got the boat prepared with the other two. They're sitting in it ready to row. I'll let you guys take it from there. You're all
Alright,
there, by the
guys.
way.
Yeah,
Oh, the boat's ready.
yeah. But let's get headed back. I
Yeah,
can
are we
take
going
one of the
back
oars again.
Are we going back to Brooks, whatever, or are we going straight to
Yeah, we'll
Yeah, we're
go
gonna
back
the other
to
villages?
we have to deliver the
Yeah.
We wanna go
yeah.
home.
They
And
want to
we have
go
to
back
return the
home. Yeah.
boat.
Yeah, we got to get the fee back, don't we?
Sorry,
Or
the
Marcel does,
Dragonborn
actually.
skeleton just really. It's a lot.
The one of the guys, the younger one, kind of like leans in towards you guys, and he's like, "Is a dragonborn skeleton like really different than a human skeleton?"
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's all about the feet. Like if you see
No,
a
I think
Dragonborn feet, it's
it
really
was just
weird.
my cousin.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your
Something.
loss.
Yeah. I don't know. It looked a lot like him, and he's been missing for a while.
Dragonborn skeletons are just thick too. Just thick.
Yeah, you want to punch me?
That's okay.
No.
Anyway, I'll take this roar. Lyron's got one. I think your heavily armored friend over there has one. Who's grabbing our last one? I'm ready to get back.
I'll do it. Row,
All right.
row your boat gently down.
You better not sing that the entire way, Marcel. You're getting thrown off the boat.
Don't rock the boat.
Marcel singing some tunes. You guys all get in the boat. There's a little bit of an awkward tension in the air with that recent conversation. From what I know, a couple of people are very quiet in thought or just in avoidance of continuing the conversation. But you guys head out onto Lake Tyrion, crossing it back to Brookley. About an hour later, 2 hours later, you guys arrive at the docks again. The sun is peering behind the distant mountains in the horizon. It's getting dark outside at this point. But you guys get back to the dock. You tie up the boat where you guys got it that first time. And the two with you sort of like get up on the dock. And then they specifically go by and shake each of your hands. They're like, "Hey, we really appreciate the help, guys. You guys really did us a huge service in there. Listen, let us pay for your room at the inn, or like buy you a drink or a meal or something."
All right.
Sounds great.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm fine with that.
So listen, they kind of like took all of the stuff that we had, but let me run home really quick. I'm gonna obviously like say hi to my wife, and I'll run by the inn at some point today, and I'll leave like a tab for you guys that you can use.
Okay.
Great. Well, hey, we appreciate it. You guys are great. Hopefully we'll see you again. And hey, props to Earl Loomis. They seem to really know what they're doing. You guys really handled that well back there.
Yeah, we're happy to help out. So,
Great.
if you need
And,
anything.
and again, sorry about your cousin. That sounds like really, really sad.
Yeah, I'm not too sure just yet, but that's why I was kind of hanging out over there a little bit.
Great. Well, find us if you need anything. We definitely owe you guys a favor. And they nod and head off.
All right. Gwen wants to go get food.
Marcel want to get drinks.
I just want a nap.
I guess I'll go report in to the church lady since she gave us the mission.
And
yeah,
we
she
also
did.
Talk to the guy so he can return the boat.
Yeah, I'll say there are 3 different destinations right now, 2 of which potentially overlap. You guys can go ahead and go. You saw a tavern on the way in. You can stop by there, get food, drink, and rest, all that stuff. Your tab's going to be covered because of the guy you rescued. You can go check in with the girl at the church, or you can find the fisherman to get your gold back. I forgot how much you guys put down.
Is there a shop that sells books that these original books could have come from? Because that's what I would want to look for.
Possibly, yeah. We'll as we're going through everything, I'll let you wander around for a little bit before you like settle down in the inn and see if you can't find a bookstore.
Okay.
But yeah, for now, what do we got? What do we got going? Who's going where? Let's just do this one at a
Before I
time.
eat, I can go to the church lady.
Yeah,
too.
let's do this. Who's going to the church? We'll do that first.
I will.
Cool. Rosari's and Gwen, I guess. You guys head off together. I'll let you guys tell me, is the air tense still? Are you guys talking and laughing? Like, what's it like as you travel?
Just so you know, Resaries, I do agree with you on killing the bugbear.
I understand I have my own issues, but I don't like letting a potential danger go. So,
Yeah, I agree.
but Marcel is different. So, I guess differences aren't always bad.
I mean, I guess it's just different per situation, but generally, I don't really think people like that should be let go.
I agree. But what's done is done. We'll take it from here, I guess. Let's go report it.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
think with that, you kind of get the idea that, like, I think without an insight check, he wants to spend more time thinking than he does talking because he's worried he might say something incorrectly.
Okay. Gwen just kind of pats Resaries on the back, and she's just like, you know, I've taken my revenge once before, just to, if that helps with anything.
I'm not worried.
Maybe it
about,
makes you think weird of me. I don't know, but I've done it.
I'm not worried about my own revenge. I'm worried about the fact that other people have their revenge, and I don't want them to have to face that.
That's fair.
Yeah, you guys get back to the chapel of the Nocturne, is what it's called. You go back in. You guys find Mauricia. She thanks you guys, and she says, "So, do you guys know if I send the payment to the school? Do I give it directly to you? I did, put out like a monetary reward for the mission."
I honestly don't know. Do you, Resaries?
I don't know either.
I would think just through us. I feel like that'd be the most convenient.
Yeah, I mean that checks out for me. I just remember sending the letter, and then you guys showed up literally like a couple days later. So she fiddles around in her pocket and pulls out a like a little satchel and counts out 25 gold coins for you guys.
All right. Thank you.
Oh no, thank you. I assume everything went well. I hope to see the two fishermen returned.
They're currently saying hello to their families.
Yep, they're here. They're back.
Great. Well, all is happy with me then. I appreciate your help. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you guys while you're here.
All right.
If I may, don't encourage people to investigate that side of the island for a few days.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Is there any like still potential for danger there, or?
We've taken care of the danger, but
Yeah, there's just some weird things we want to discuss with some of the professors before we make sure it's fully clear.
That sounds good. I will take your word for it, and I will let everybody know that if they want to go, at least wait until like next week before they do. Great. Alrighty. Well, again, thank you guys. Let me know if you need anything.
All right.
And you guys return. Who is going to collect the gold from the fisherman that you borrowed the boat from?
Go, Leo.
I guess I'm going to.
Sure. Does anyone remember how much gold you guys gave him? My first guess is 5?
It was 10.
10. Cool. You
I'm
get your...
kidding. I don't know.
You started in your mic.
If no one remembers, I'm just going to say that he's going to give you 10 gold.
Perfect.
I don't have that in my notes, so.
I also don't know why I don't have it in mind, but he gives you back your gold and some, and he tells you guys that he appreciates you guys coming up from the school to help out. you can head back to the inn. Next up, Lucian, you're looking for a bookstore. You swing by the library in Brooklyn. It's not super big. This is like a fishing town. There's a small library, and you don't really see any books on magic here. You definitely don't think this book came from Brooklyn. I'm gonna leave that there. Cool. Next.
Was that for me? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you look for the bookstore,
my bad.
right?
I thought I was gonna be last. Sorry. Yeah. And what'd you say?
So you found a bookstore. It's not even a bookstore, really. It's a small library. Brooklyn is a fishing town. It is, not the most erudite-esque. It's not very academically focused. But the small library does not have much in the way of magic books at all, so you don't think this came from here.
And they're not authored by anybody that would maybe a librarian recognize.
Yeah, I think I told you guys before that the book was written by Baron.
Oh, that's right, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
Mind. This was pointless.
Next up, you guys all return to the inn. Who went to the inn first? Because I think Athera and Marcel didn't have anywhere else to go. So are you guys already there, like getting ready?
Yep.
Yeah. Marcel's just drinking.
Yeah, you guys get to the inn, and this like middle-aged man, he's got like the gray sort of cut on the sides hair with a little bit longer on the top. He's got like a couple of scars on him. He's serving you guys drinks and food. You guys tell him that the fishermen are paying. A couple minutes later, they come in. They drop off like 2.5 gold, and the bartender is just like, "Sure, I don't understand what's happening here, but I'll gladly take it." So they pay for your tab and probably a little bit extra. And you guys are sitting there, eating and drinking as the rest of you all funnel in whatever order you would like.
As you see the group funneling in whatever order you like. You see Marcel. Oh, hey guys! And then he falls on the floor.
The bartender looks over at you guys from like 10 feet away at the other end of the bar, and he just calls out, "Are you okay over there?"
Maybe.
Fine. He's fine. He's fine.
You guys are a lot taller now.
Son, you've had 2 ales.
It's called a joke. You don't need to know that yet.
He shakes his head and continues cleaning up the dish that he's working on. All right, you're all back in the tavern.
All right.
Marcel's
Gwen's
still
going
on
for
the
the
floor.
food.
Yeah, you call the guy over. He comes over and he's like, "Sure, yep. What can I get for you?"
What kind of stuff you got?
Well, I mean, we have a lot of fish, plenty of vegetables, potatoes, got some rice if you want it.
What's your favorite thing on the menu?
Fish and rice.
That's easy
I'll
to make.
take 2 of those.
Fantastic. Anybody else? And he just kind of scans through you guys.
Marcel, with like raising his hand and speaks to his hand. I would like some fish, please.
Sure thing. He eyes the next person. Not all at once now.
Come on, guys, you gotta be hungry.
Yeah, you two back there and all the metal. What are you getting?
Something with a lot of iron.
I guess
I'll
I'll
get-
have the same.
Yeah, I guess I'll have some fish and rice as well, please.
Sure. He looks over at you guys and kind of, gives a little furrowed brow look at you. Then he looks over at Athera and Lucy and he's like, "You guys want anything or you all good?"
Something light, please.
Fish and rice it is. All right.
That's what I ordered too.
Great. All right. Well, I'll get those orders ready for you, little pups. And he winks at you guys and heads off to get everything prepared.
The theory, you didn't order anything.
Oh, I thought you ordered me the fish and rice.
No, those are both for me. But, I can give you, I guess, some of it if you want.
It's really like, so I'm just messing with you.
That's very
Okay. Then it's all mine.
I imagine that like she already ordered before anybody else got in.
Yeah,
She's probably
you
eating.
came to the inn before, so like you've already had your food. You're good.
I'm sitting there with like a little cup of water that I boiled with my druidcraft, and like there's like a tea that I brought, and I just like made myself my little cup of tea. I'm sipping it.
A couple minutes later, the guy comes back out, carrying a couple of dishes and like sets them down gingerly as they're very warm, and just hands out a bunch of plates of fish and rice with various vegetables and seasonings with them. He also reaches back and grabs like some containers of water and sets them in front of you guys, and he says, "All right, anything else I can do for you guys? You guys are getting rooms. The guy that came in here, Liar, he said that he was covering rooms, so
Yeah, I'll take some rooms.
great. Well, I have enough here for all of you to get your own individual room, unless you guys really want to share beds.
Nope.
Individual's fine.
Great. Sure. All right.
Marcel. Guys.
Leo, you want a snuggle?
I think I'm gonna go with my own room tonight, but I appreciate the offer.
He looks at you guys and he says, "I think Rosaris would snuggle with you."
Sorry, do you want to snuggle?
No.
Oh.
I have something else to do.
Oh?
It's a girl.
Oh, God.
You see the bartender like chuckle and laugh as he walks away, and he shakes his head.
Gwen's just gonna like shovel the first plate of food like directly into her mouth. Like she doesn't even taste it, but then she starts to slow down at the second plate and actually taste the food.
The person with cook supplies doesn't eat for the taste. How interesting.
I just imagine like your mouse. Like,
She was hungry.
And just like shove it down there.
Do you need help with your task? Sorry.
Perhaps, in all fairness, it might be better to have all of you here.
Athera, Lucian, really quick questions as my high wisdom intelligence people. As Rosaris is answering this, what are your passive insights and investigations? Insight for Athera, investigation for Lucian.
16.
Rude. 16. Can't you choose perception?
Shorty, if it helps, I feel like me realizing what he did should help them with that pass.
Yeah,
Like, as a person know what he did and what they should be looking for.
the tidbit that I'll drop on a 16, not terribly high, but definitely solid, is Rosaris never gave this guy his name. And ever since he said Rosaris' name, Rosaris has been sitting there like awkwardly, kind of shuffling a little bit. So Lucian, as you talk to him, you pick up on that, and Athera, your passive insight, like, that clicked for you.
And I'm sorry, which guy's name is this? Which guy are we talking about?
Rosaris. And Rosaris, the bartender.
I'm gonna like lean over to Rosaris and be like, "Do you know the bartender?"
Well,
You could say he's my uncle.
You could.
you can say it, or he is.
Well, remember, I'm an orphan. I don't quite remember.
Orphans have uncles.
Do they know about them? Is the question. He is an uncle for me, whether it's through blood or through relationship. I care not.
My uncle's dead.
Thank you, Gwen.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind being your uncle too if you want.
Okay.
Collect orphans.
No.
Wait,
Um,
so
That's good.
have you been to this town before then?
No, he recently moved here. In fact, I was wondering why my father figure told me an uncle moved here without telling me where. So it's nice to know where he is.
You guys gonna like hang out and catch up later?
I guess that's required.
Are you drinking?
So Zach just died.
Oh, he's already drunk.
Yeah, obviously he's not drinking.
He dropped dead.
He's done.
He went out. Damn. All right.
Be gone.
I'll just say for at least a couple minutes, Rosars just kind of like waves you guys down. He's like, I'll talk to him later. We just got done with the mission. I'm decompressing from that first. And continues eating his food, leaving you guys to talk.
Leo, I need you to, when we get back to town, you gotta help me pick out a book. For Celia.
Sure. Kind of book are you looking for?
I have this idea.
Words.
I think it's definitely not going to have words in it. Unless you think I should put words in it.
I'm sorry. The purpose of the book is now, please, I don't understand.
Flick him on the nose. It's a gift. Remember, we talked about this.
Are we buying her like a diary?
I'm thinking a spell book.
Ah,
Or, get this, you could send her me, because she seemed pretty impressed with my lightning spell. Just saying.
No, you'd be much better with Hildegard.
Huh?
What?
Why is that?
This seems your type. You should go for it.
I don't like where this conversation is going. Moving on.
Druids are your
She's already taken, so yeah, druids aren't my type either, to be honest. So
Happily take.
That would be interesting. Unless almost killing someone is your way of flirting.
no, I don't know about that one.
I wouldn't count it out.
Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't.
Gathira looks completely like, what? Just gets a pretty.
At this point, the bartender comes back and starts gathering up plates and is like looking at all of your faces. He doesn't really say anything, but he kind of just smiles or smirks to himself as he's collecting everything, points to some glasses to see if you guys are done.
I'm gonna kind of nudge Rosaries. Oh, you were saying about him?
Yeah, sorry, I blinked out there for a second. I'll stick out my arm and to like shake his what most people would assume to be shake his hand and say never unsheath without honor. Or never unsheath without reason, sorry.
And he will grab your wrist back and he'll like set down the dishes. He'll grab your wrist back and say, never sheath without reason. Or no, we both messed it up. You said never.
I took my oath. So I took my oath. So yeah, I'm excited to say that. Sorry.
Great. Yeah. Never unsheath without reason. Never sheath without honor. Thought it was
That's
you.
some sort of secret code or something.
Yeah, it's code for he's gonna go snuggle the blonde one later.
What?
Uncle, please.
Which
Huh?
one's the blonde one?
You're the blonde one.
Me?
Yeah.
That's white hair. What do you mean?
Well,
No, it's platinum
it
blonde.
looks blonde enough.
I'm offended.
That's all right. Rosaris will come for you later. I'm glad that you weren't someone else. That could have been very awkward. Anyway, and he like turns and starts setting some of the dishes back, and he says, "So were you guys here for visiting, or are you guys the ones that the school sent for that mission that Mauricio was talking about?"
Yes, we took care of the lighthouse and sounds.
Ah, cool. Look at you, big hot shot at Earl Loomis now.
Some of the upperclassmen are far better than I am. So I wouldn't say I'm a hotshot quite yet.
I'm definitely a bigger hotshot than Res Reese's.
Hell yeah, he high fives you.
Yeah, fuck yes.
Anyway, I shouldn't be rude, guys. My name's Marin Drake. I'm a old acquaintance of Rosari's. Yeah, I guess you could say that. Well, I've known him since he was little. I'm basically like a cousin or an uncle. I don't know.
I say uncle. You're a little too old.
Hey, uncle.
Kelpie.
Uncle will count. We'll do it. So,
A kunkle.
are you still on the floor?
Yes, I am.
Buddy, you have a room.
He gets lonely, I think.
The hand comes back up and he reaches across and just pushes it back down behind the bar.
Mm,
Well, hey, listen, I know you guys' tab is paid for tonight, but if you guys want any drinks or any food, any friend of Rosari's is a friend of mine, so y'all just let me know if you need anything.
You have any dessert?
I could probably find a pie.
Marcel kicks out.
Alright.
Sounds great.
Fantastic. I'll get you guys some. And he goes back and starts prepping some stuff. It'll probably be a couple minutes. And you all sit there silently. And then he comes back with multiple plates of pie, sets them across the counter, and he says, right, so, yeah, how's your sister and brother?
They're doing fine.
You got siblings?
Both of them are doing fine the last time I heard, the last letter I received. But it's been a little while, so they need to report in and let me know how they're doing a little bit better. But Kata is doing well.
Yeah,
I'll have to bring her by.
Yeah, you definitely should. She come with you to the school?
Of course.
Fantastic.
Who else could keep her in mind?
That's a good point. So I'm guessing the other two are off together?
Yes. Who else could keep Arthur in mind?
Fair enough. What about you guys? And he turns to everybody else. He's like, you guys have any siblings worth talking about? He
No.
points to Gwen and he's like, you specifically... Oh, nope, never mind. We'll leave that there.
No. Don't got anything. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, of course.
Reminding me. Yeah.
I just kind of pat his arm like, it's okay.
Anyways...
I'm just fucking with you.
Good.
I don't have any siblings, though. That's true.
Oh, well, cool. Well, tell me about yourselves. And he, like, pulls up the stool behind the bar and sits down. You kind of make almost like a circle with you guys, but you're all on a bar. He leans against it and he says, so, where are you guys from? Who are you? What do you do?
I'm from Aorsha. And I shoot a bow.
You know, those two things tend to go together quite often.
Yeah.
That's really cool, though. Aorsha is a very
Thank
interesting place. I'll have to visit someday.
Well, if you're just used to this place, you might get, like, hit with some whiplash or something.
I will go prepared if I do.
Alright.
What about you guys, the two blondies of the group, or sorry, white hair?
I thought you were about to call us whiteys.
No, of course not.
Whitey.
What about you guys? Where are you from? You both look well dressed and proper.
I'm from Tara's Way.
That's not too far.
Pretty nice.
Cool. I have been there. I've visited the city. I think twice now. Long white hair guy. Not blonde. Oh, okay. You guys brothers?
Yes.
Interesting.
Just look at Marcella like nothing like me.
I mean, you both have white hair.
Attractive.
You both
We-
look
we
pretty
are.
similar to me, to be
Yeah,
honest.
we're actually lost twins, so I've been trying to rekindle our relationship, but
Yeah, if it wasn't for the ears, I honestly, you put on
Maybe he's just got less elf in his half elf.
more half than elf. That's what we used to say.
Yep.
maybe he's a half human.
Interesting. What about you other two? And he looks at Athera and Leo.
They're also related.
I could see the resemblance.
He's my half brother.
Haha, I get what you did there.
More half than brother, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Her mother had some particular interest with Leo.
Yeah, that's
My goodness.
all right. Well, the two half siblings. What about you guys? Where are you from?
I'm from Stonewall.
Leo, could you roll me an insight check?
Sure. Him, son.
I'm actually going to give you advantage, because the thing that you're looking for here is something you would have seen before.
16 was the highest.
16. You see as the bartender, Marin, as he introduced himself, is not very good at hiding his facial expression, that very quickly his smile drops and he glances over at Rosari's and makes a side eye at him. And he says, tell me about yourself. What was it like in Stonewall? What's your background?
I am a cleric for the Church of Corteus.
At this point, the side eye is no longer even a side eye. He just glares at Rosari's. And then after a couple of seconds, he just, how rude of me. Ladies first, our elven friend. What about you?
She's kind of looking back and forth oh, yep, I'm definitely picking up on something here. I'm also from Aorsha, but just a small village. You've probably never heard of it.
Probably not.
Wait. What the?
I'm waiting.
My internet stopped for a second. Sorry.
Your what?
What is this internet you speak of?
I don't know. Okay.
Maybe that's a new type of fishing net that people use. The internets.
So
Jesus.
wait, you're from Aorsha too? Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I thought you knew.
I mean, I might have just went over my head and I didn't notice. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Makes me even more surprised why you didn't know that druids could, be owl bears.
Did we have this conversation
Yes, we did.
about owl bears?
Yep. Last session you tried to turn into one. This is out of character.
It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, last session doesn't mean shit.
Yeah. As you guys are talking, Marin, which those of you with high insights can easily pick up that whatever Leo said about being from Stonewall really got to him. He collects the rest of your dishes, sets them aside, and then sort of claps his hands. And he's like, all right, well, like I said, if you guys need anything, let me know. And then he is going to head off to tend to other patrons.
I don't think he likes
Alright.
me.
It's because you're half orc.
That's what I thought it was too.
He could be right.
How unfortunate.
Okay.
That's
People
society
racist.
evolved enough.
Well, moving on.
All right. with that, I will let you guys tell me as you are winding down for the night. You all got free food and drink. You're all going to go to sleep in your own time. Is there anything else you guys think we need to hit on before you wake up in the morning and head back to Loomis?
Marcel would like to hit on Professor Rance.
We're not even at the school yet, but I'm glad you told me so I can put it on my notes.
No, Marcel's asleep.
All right. Well, if we don't have anything else, I think that's a good place to end. At next session, we will get a long rest. You guys can head back to the school, and we'll figure out what to do with that dragon skeleton. So, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.
See ya.
All right. See ya.
Bye.